Okay, honey, you gonna get your chair? Okay. Okay, I am having a hard time with this here. Okay. All right, honey. I'm still trying to figure this stupid thing out.
I can't just sit on the couch?
No.
Where do you want me to put it? Thanks for your help. You want me on this side?
I think so. Thanks, Russ. Well, I guess you guys are already watching. Elapsed time. 2 people watching. Russ, welcome back. Thanks, Russ, for coming in. Now there's the delay. She just carried that chair over a second ago. So, I'm still getting used to this the delay in this thing and the comments and whatnot. So forgive me, guys, if I'm still trying to figure out how to use this this whole thing. So I am doing my best. So I guess you guys can all see me, yeah? So I guess I'm already live. So So those are all tips. Okay, here we go. Well, okay. I guess you guys are seeing me. It says I'm live. So I'm still trying to figure this thing. I'm using OBS, Russ. I downloaded that sucker, and it's a really, really easy program. And obviously, I'm seeing myself on here, and it looks like the video quality is really, really good. So I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing. Hey, thanks, Keith. Keith McKenzie said, "Happy Mother's Day."
Thank you.
Appreciate that. So you can see the delay. So there's what this is recording. That's the streaming program.
Oh,
and then
that's why I don't see myself in front of this.
Yeah, you're not going to be there for a second or so. So okay, guys, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming in. We'll wait a few more minutes to get a few more people in here and have a good time tonight. There's a lot of other live streams going on right now. Russ, I know you know Roots and Refuge. They're doing a live stream. They started at 5 o'clock, at least my time, 5 o'clock. They're in, what are they, Tennessee? What did they say? Tennessee, Louisiana, whatever. So they started a couple of hours ago, about an hour and a half ago. So we may not get a whole bunch of people in here, but at least you guys can. Russ, I don't know if is your wife watching, Russ? I'd love to know. Thanks, Woody Wood. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming in tonight. I appreciate it. So Woody Wood, sounds like you were one of my subscribers, and you just subscribed to Russ there. Russ has got a neat little place up there in Colorado. His wife and daughter up there, and he is high energy, man. Super high energy. You want to get encouraged and have fun, watch Russ's videos. He makes it fun for everybody to watch. So, well, I wonder who else. I know there's some other live stream. North Star Prepstetter, she's somebody from Canada, and she said she was going to be looking at some other live streams tonight. But she said she could watch 2 at one time. I said, okay. She's always got some nice comments. I think she's a single lady up in Canada, homesteading up there. There's a lot of Canadian homesteaders that watch these channels down here in the States, and it's amazing to me how those people survive up there when it's snow on the ground 8 months out of the year. Then they have a month of melt. Then they have 2 to 3 month growing season, and then the snow starts hitting again. So they have to have greenhouses. So anyway, so tonight, as promised, as advertised, I'm going to interview my wife and ask her some questions, and then so I'm probably not going to read too many of the comments at first, just so you guys kind of have a little introduction to who she is, and then you guys can ask some questions. And if like Russ, if your wife's got some questions for her or some hints or tips or whatever, have at it. I'd love to have your wife ask some questions and stuff. So she's out there with you, putting up with you, and supporting you. One of the things my dad told me about moving off grid is that us men, we're all cavemen. We could go live in a cave and be perfectly happy, but the women in our lives, they want some of the comforts of home, and they want some of the comforts. They want a hot shower, and you can't get that in a cave, right? But gosh, some of these homesteaders out there, they're putting water in a bag and heating it up with sun power. And gosh, there was a channel I just watched in the last couple of days, and the house that they bought had a septic system, but they didn't have any running water. It had running water, but all their water was through a rain catchment system. So they caught all the rain they possibly could, funneled it into some big tanks, and that was their water supply for the year. So there's no plumbing, no well. So we're fortunate to have a well on our place. So anyhow, well, I guess we got some people in here right now. There's probably a lot of other live streams going on right now. That's probably part of it too.
Start.
So, well, all right, guys. I'm gonna ask my wife some questions. So she was all afraid of this and wanting to know what kind of questions, if I'm gonna put her on the spot and whatnot. But I'm gonna put her on the spot. And this was kind of an unintentional tribute to you wives and mothers out there. Keith, if your wife is watching, I know you guys want to get out of the state, so sit her down and watch this. Hey Providence, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. So Providence Farmstead, I've watched your channel. You're the lady of the farm there, I believe. We're going to interview my wife, so you guys get to know my wife a little bit tonight and talk a little bit about homesteading. Oh, Roots and Refuge is finishing up. Okay, cool. Well, we don't want to intrude on them. We love Jess and Jeremiah. They are fantastic. I watched, hey, Back in the Woods, thanks for showing up. I watched Jess do her talk at that big get-together from last weekend at that Cedar Mills? Cedar Park? Oh, gosh. My memory's so bad. My short-term memory is just shot. Robert Beck, what are you doing watching? What the heck, Mr. Safety Man? So Robert's the iron worker that I worked with at that last job, and he was on this job, and he just quit after 27 years of being a rod buster, and now he's a safety guy. So he doesn't have to punk rebar around anymore. So he's a happy man. That's one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with. So
Homestead.
yeah, right on. Thank you, Providence. So what I'm doing here tonight, you probably saw my little thumbnail there. I'm going to be interviewing my wife, let you guys get to know my wife a little bit, and then asking her a few questions. And then I'm going to open it up to you guys to ask some questions of her. If you haven't looked at kind of some of our bio and what we're about, we're currently in California, but we're working hard to get out of the state of California. We've been doing backyard homesteading. We've had chickens, we've got a garden, we've got fruit trees, we do everything you could possibly do on a farm in our backyard. We bought 5 acres of land up in Idaho, and we're going to be moving. We're on a 2 to 3 year plan to get out of here as soon as our kids are out of school. So I'm the country boy. I grew up in the country up in Oregon on a farm, moving irrigation pipe and whatnot. But she's the city girl. So I'm going to open this up to questions for you guys so that you guys can ask her questions, but she might ask you guys some questions. Hey, that's enough. She never barks, and now we're doing a live stream and she decides to start barking. She never ever barks.
It's because I'm doing that.
That's why. So you're instigating. Okay, great.
Just a little.
So anyway, Baker Creek. Oh, you went to Baker Creek. So did you get to listen to Jess give her testimony and talk about the garden being her place of worship? Because that was, yeah, see there's a little delay right there. So I have to
ignore that and just go.
You have to just kind of ignore that. Well, I'd love to hear her answer for that because she was at Baker Creek while Jess gave her testimony about being in the garden. So so guys, we're gonna try and monitor the comments a little bit as much as we can. Back in the Woods, you guys have a 2-year plan as well to move on your off-grid land. Right on. Yeah, it couldn't come soon enough. I'm friends with a bunch of off-gridders, homesteaders right now, and I'm gonna be doing a cooperative live stream with 2 other channels. We're trying to put this together in the next couple of weeks, and one of them is Jeremy and Angela, and they're up in North Idaho with us. And so we're using the WhatsApp, and we're voice messaging each other. And he left a message today saying how beautiful it was up there, 72 degrees, and it's killing me. It's already getting warm down here in California. We've had some pretty cool weather. It's been nice, but I'm tired of the heat. So I have you guys watching your channels up there and in your off-grid properties and whatnot. It just kills me. So anyway, but yeah, we're over it. We're getting out of town. So I have a couple more years of work down here to get the kids through college, and then as soon as they're done, we're gone. I'm gonna go run cranes up there in North Idaho and Washington and whatnot. So, but anyway, so that was cool. So if you were there, Providence Farmstead at Baker Creek, yeah, I listened to Jess's whole spiel and her talk up there in front of all you guys, and that was fantastic. and what a testimony they have. That's pretty fantastic. So, and then she kind of had to take a break for a second, and Sweet Maya had to take over for her. I thought that was touching. They're neat. So, I was watching their live stream, and they have 145,000 subscribers. They're almost 150,000 subscribers. That's just, I can't even comprehend that. I can't even comprehend 1,000, let alone a couple hundred, So they are neat people, and they're really leading the charge and leading the way with all their stuff. So, all right, well, guys, hey, we got a few people in here. A few more people will probably trickle in here, and so ask my wife some questions. So, first question I have: where were you born? Where did you grow up, and who birthed you?
Well, I was born in Fullerton, California. It's about 20 minutes from Disneyland. And my mom and dad have been married for 65 years. They had 10 kids. I'm number 9 of the 10. And they have 68 grandkids. That includes great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids, and then 3 more on their way this year. So they'll be just 70, 71 this year. So my mom, Gloria, Salas, my dad, love them so much.
So you grew up in Southern California?
Oh yeah, I've been here all my life.
So what was life like for you as a teenager, high school? What did you grow up doing? What was your favorite thing to do? Being in a city, had you ever been to a farm? Have you ever been?
No, my parents were from Mexico City, so every year we'd go visit family there. And my parents had their own business, so we were always helping out at the business, in the office. And then we'd have to help out at home with cleaning the bathroom, chores, helping my mom cook, make pairs for my dad's socks, iron his shirts. So
your parents are immigrants?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you were born here, so you're
Yeah, they had 10 kids. The first 7 were born in Mexico City, and then the last 3 were born here in Fullerton, California.
So you've spent your whole life pretty much in the city, except for what times have you been outside of the city besides traveling to Mexico City? Like, where have you been besides Cancun or Hawaii?
Yeah, when I met you, we went to Oregon to visit your family. That was like the first time that, I've been out of Southern California, Mexico. Never really been in any other state. And then Idaho, when we went to visit a few years ago, which was very pretty. What
were your hobbies, and what did you like to do in, say, high school? And then when I met you, what were your activities and stuff besides work?
When we had family parties, I was always playing tag, hide and seek with my nephews and nieces. Even when my kids were in junior high and we went over to a friend's house, I was outside playing with the kids, shooting hoop, playing tag, hide and seek. I'm an outdoors person, but I love playing games.
And you like playing sports?
I love playing sports. Softball was my favorite. Volleyball was another of my favorite. I love playing any sport.
Yeah.
Football.
Okay. So you guys can see where she kind of grew up, and what she did growing up. So we've been married for 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary this last November. And so tell me about our kids. Why just 2? I came from a family of 8. You came from a family of how many? 10, 12 with your parents.
So why 2? I don't know. I think originally I had wanted 4, but we had owned our own business and taking the kids to the office and nursing in the office and having to, work with answering phones, dealing with customers. I thought there's no way I could do 4 kids, raising 4 kids and helping with the business. So we ended up at 2, being that we got blessed with a girl and then a boy. So we thought, perfect, we're done, one of each. So I think that's why and they're expensive. It's expensive to live here. Kids get expensive. I don't know how my parents did it with 10. Usually when we went to Hawaii or Cancun, they always had at least 4 of us, and they paid for everything. So food, souvenirs, little gifts here for us when we were traveling, So yeah, my parents worked really hard, and they gave us the best that they could.
So having 2 was kind of some of a financial
Oh yeah, for sure.
decision. So.
For sure. They grew up too fast. I wish I had more, because I love little babies.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, she does. She is a popular aunt in this family. So, well, where do you think, where are we now, life-wise? You were into sports, and that was all your interest. So, tell me about your interests now. What do you like to do as a hobby? I mean, obviously, you still like to play games, you still like to play sports and stuff. But
Yeah.
as we've gotten older, and we're not that old yet, but we're getting older. We can't run around like we used to. But what are your interests now? What do you like to do now?
Now, I work full time at a high school in the office, so I enjoy that. I enjoy talking to the kids at the school. I really enjoy talking to the parents too. When I come home, I like to go to my craft room, and there's so many things. In the past few years, I've just been crafty, and honestly don't know where I got that from. But I like to do it all. I like to crochet. That's very therapeutic. I love to use a Cricut and make wood signs, or use my machine and my serger and make a bag or make a pillow. I just love, I make mugs with special sayings on it. I don't know. I could pretty much do anything, knowing that I put my mind to it, and I challenge myself, and I think, yeah, I could do this, and here I am. There's just so much to do. I don't even know what is my favorite. I love it all.
Where did all the crafts come from? You have no idea?
I have no clue.
I know that you started scrapbooking early on with the kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you saw that idea, but
just friends from church.
Friends from church were doing it. Okay.
So we do that.
So networking with other moms at church kind of sparked your interest in doing the scrapbooking.
With the scrapbooking, yeah. And then from there, of course, new things came. Yeah. Cricut.
Did you ever think when you were in high school playing softball that you would be sitting and enjoying relaxing, knitting a sweater?
No, never thought. Never thought. And surprisingly, my mom knew how to. She can make little sweaters out of crochet for babies and or booties, and I never knew she knew how to do that until I started doing it about 10 years ago. I taught myself watching videos on YouTube. So.
Wow. So there's definitely been a transition there at some point. Yeah, thanks, Providence.
I can wait for grandchildren, but I can't wait. I love babies. So.
Right, Robert. No, I don't need to know how to crochet. I need to learn how to drive a tractor. I need to learn how to build a greenhouse and do timber framing. I got to do the big heavy stuff, but she can keep crocheting. So, Providence Farmstead. So crocheting and knitting. That's something that totally blew me away when she started doing that. I still don't understand how ladies can crochet and knit. My mind just doesn't comprehend, the knots and counting, and it's insane what they do. It's crazy. So.
Well, crochet is definitely more forgiving than knitting.
Russ, you are here. Thanks for showing up, bud. Is your pretty wife watching, Russ, as well? Love to have her in on this, because this is kind of a live stream dedicated to the wives and ladies tonight. So, but getting to know, but there's going to be stuff for the guys too. So we get to have a good feeling for what we need to do as guys to make sure our wives are comfortable and things like that. So, All right, so, well, let's see. What's my next question then? Well, this is a big. There's only like 3 or 4 more questions, but these are the big ones. So you guys, I'm trying to lay a little bit of a base, kind of a background, so you have an understanding of where she came from. Knowing I grew up on the farm, as a country boy, um, we're like almost two opposites that got together 25 years ago. And I didn't try and convert her. I haven't tried to do anything to turn her into somebody different. She has more metamorphosed into this amazing creative person. She's down building the workshop. Well, I hope you've got that on video, Russ, because I want to see your wife building that workshop. That's fantastic. My wife's the same way. Olivia, she'll go grab a hammer and she'll be right there beside me helping me build something, and she lends a hand all the time. So she's not afraid to get out there and get dirty. I can't wait to. We actually already bought her a pair of mucks. You guys that are already off-grid and homesteaders know what mucks are. That's a brand. Is it a brand? It's a brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a brand of waterproof boot with comfortable soles and grippy bottoms that you can wear in the mud and work on the farm with and keep your feet dry. And we already bought her a pair that she really liked. She fell in love with, and so yeah, you homesteaders already know the ins and outs. So knowing that background with her, knowing I married a city girl, and now she's metamorphosed into this amazing creative person. She's doing the knitting and the crocheting, but she's doing the graphics and the signs and the arts and unbelievable stuff. It just completely blows my mind how much she's done. So that kind of brings me to my next question. What do you think about homesteading and moving off grid? I mean, we've already been doing. So I've been trying to get her to can, guys, and she's kind of afraid of canning, honestly. I mean, because I grew up with it, I kind of knew it, but there's a lot of people that are afraid of putting pressure in that boiling pot of water. They think they're going to blow up their house, but there's all these safeties involved and stuff. So I've been trying to get her to do that kind of stuff, and she's kind of hesitant, but all this other crafty stuff she has taken off on her own and done. So I haven't forced the crafty side of it, but I'm trying to get her used to the homesteading side. So what do you think of all that? What do you think of, we've already been doing this in the backyard.
Well, I know a lot of your wood machines making, you doing stuff at home. I think maybe that working on the house, because it was definitely a fixer-upper, I think really sparked my interest in using your saw, your table saw, or what do you call the hand saw?
Jigsaw.
The jigsaw, cutting stuff. And then I think maybe it just might have grown from there. My parents owned an upholstery business, so sewing, I knew a lot of, but I never really did it. So, but what was your question? I forgot.
What do you think about homesteading and moving to a
Honestly, I find
homestead?
it overwhelming because I get nervous of, like you were saying, canning. I get nervous of the pot with the steam coming out. I get nervous that it's going to explode on me. You make it look easy, and I don't mind helping, but I don't know doing it myself. I think it's just a lot. And I enjoy doing it, making that with you.
Yeah, I think we'll get there.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to moving to Idaho. I don't know where my kids will be, or if I'll be, a grandma, how soon I'll be a grandma, but I'll take that on when it comes. So
yeah, that's one thing. We're young enough. I'm 50, so we still have 12 years to go before I can retire, and her as well. And so we're still young enough to have energy to go enjoy a little bit of empty nester time, but we really kind of want to get that place ready, because we know that grandkids will be coming along in the future, and love to have that place ready to go for the grandkids to come and stay with us and hang out with us. So we want it to be a wonderful place. I mean, family is where it's at. I mean, family is family. That's the most important thing, and being with your family is great. But having a dream place for them to go to and visit that creates unbelievable memories is kind of what I remember going up to my grandpa's place up in the mountains, hiking around on his property, all the trees and stuff, and I'll never forget that. You know, and just going to their house in the city, I remember those times, but it wasn't, particularly memorable. But I remember the times up in the mountains and going up there with him, times going fishing with my grandpa. Those were memorable times. So I want to be able to do that with my grandkids. So this homesteading thing. So you're a little nervous about moving. I know that we haven't really totally fleshed out. You're kind of the. Yeah, family is most important, and that's obviously she's the one that's most important to me in my life, and of course the second is our kids, and the rest of our family after that. So we haven't totally fleshed this out. I mean, I've done all the talking really, and she's been listening and trying to get used to the idea. She's kind of the type that she deals with it when it gets there, and so I'm trying to. So we've been doing this backyard homesteading thing, and I've been trying to get her more and more her thinking along those lines, so that when we move to Idaho, she'll have already done a lot of this stuff, like the gardening and the canning and the fruit trees, and having chickens and that kind of stuff, because that's we're going to have all that up there, and then more. So has any of that stuff helped you to maybe take the edge off? I mean, is it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Doing it here at home, harvesting our vegetables and all that has definitely, introduced me to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could probably do the water bath canning. That
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be so bad. So it'd be like tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
green beans,
No, green beans are the pressure.
or the pressure canner. Yeah. See, I'm still learning.
Tomatoes and
So,
jams
tomatoes
or
and
water
jam.
bath. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, Russ, Providence Farmstead. It'd be interesting to hear you guys' stories sometime. And Russ, I don't know how well or how easy it was for you to move your wife out there to Timbuktu, to the boonies. But this is about as foreign as it gets. This is about as opposite of a lifestyle that she's ever known as it gets. So, a lot of places, a lot of people, it doesn't work. April and family, hey guys, thanks for showing up. Thank you very much. I'm interviewing my wife for Mother's Day and getting you guys to get to know everyone. And my daughter is now watching. It's about time you showed up, Danae.
Hi, baby.
What are you, a busy college student or what?
Something like that.
So, our daughter is in another state going to school. She's got 3 more semesters to get her RSN. She is going to be Nurse D in about a year. Actually,
Yeah, May 2020 she graduates from.
well, 1 year.
college.
Summer, fall, and spring she'll be a nurse. So we're very proud of her. She is she's our oldest and our firstborn and our pride, and so we'd love to have her go with us to Idaho, but I don't think she wants to go. So
Well, when we went we left after Christmas, and we were there for a week. And the first couple nights, she was like me. She could not sleep at night because of all the different noises. She had a hard time sleeping. And we asked her how she liked it, and she said, yeah, I like it, but as a vacation home, I couldn't move down here. So I can understand how she feels about that.
right.
Because that's how I feel. And I think it's worse in the summer because you have more creatures roaming around in the summer versus the winter. Because, certain big animals are hibernating in the winter. And that's what my most fear is bears.
Well, did you cheat and look at my questions?
No, why?
Oh, because that's my next topic.
Oh, I
As
already
we-
answered it, so move on.
Well, no, what are your fears? So your fears are the
Oh,
bears.
Yeah, bears. The bears.
So Russ says that his wife was the country girl, and she pulled him out there, and he didn't know nothing. He's gonna pass out on the first chicken that they harvest. They dispatch.
Oh, me too.
Oh, that is funny. Hey Russ, one of the guys that was on the live stream last week, Bear Paw Timber, He's got a video up, and he shows harvesting a chicken, actually a rooster, because they had too many roosters. I would highly recommend you go look up bear paw timber and watch that video. YouTube hasn't taken it down yet, which is pretty amazing. So go check that thing out, and he shows you how to do it from start to finish. It was a great video. We had a good conversation there. She's not going to be able to do the oh, great. All right. She's not going to be able to do the dispatching. She's going to let me do the harvest. She wants me to bring her the chicken on the foam plate with the cellophane wrap on it, like she gets from the store. That's how she's going to want it. So at some point, she's going to have to help out. So yeah, well, okay, Russ, that's great. We're glad for you. Not really.
What do you
The
say?
bear. They had a bear in the driveway.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah.
That's cool, Russ. I think that's awesome. I think it's cool. So who was more scared? I want to know, your wife or you? We were told when we bought this place that the bears weren't there, that the lady that had lived there for 19 years by herself had only seen a bear twice in 19 years, and it was way down the road. It was no big deal. And now we're finding out that the bears were there probably more than twice in 19 years. It was probably twice a year, maybe even twice a month. And they're a lot closer than way down the road. So she's phobic of bears, but she's recently surprised me and said she was actually kind of looking forward to seeing a bear.
From way distance.
From a distance, at least way down by the creek or something. And Jeremy from Living the Dream Homestead sent me a hilarious picture. I'll have to share it with you guys. I'll have to post it on one of these videos. And it talked about when the way to tell the difference between black bear scat and grizzly bear scat. Because on the live stream last week I said that our neighbor, we love them up there, gave her a set of bells to wear on her wrist and a big tall can of bear spray. I mean, when I'm talking, this can is this huge. We went to the North 40 store up there, and they had a whole aisle of nothing but bear spray, bear mace. And they were the big tall monster cans. Remember that? And from floor to like 8 feet high, and it was like 10 feet long, just a solid wall of bear spray.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells us something like, wow, this must be an issue up here, or at least a lot of people are trying to be safe. Well, our neighbor, hooked us up with the bells and whatnot, and of course I was packing my gun. But so I said that on live stream last week. Russ, I don't know if you remember when Jeremy was when he sent us that picture. Russ, you've seen that picture. They said the way to tell the difference between black bear scat and grizzly bear scat. Well, the black bear scat, you see lots of berries, lots of leftovers and grass, and you might see an occasional like fur from a rabbit they might have got or something. And the grizzly bear scat is full of bells and empty bear can spray. So, thankfully, there are not really any grizzlies in Idaho. There haven't been any reported grizzlies up there. Those are farther east in Montana and Yellowstone, over in that area. So, hey, Elf Lord's Journey, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. The more the merrier. You saw that, Russ? Okay, so you saw that pic. Right on. Yeah, I've been watching Hillbilly, watching Kevin and Miss Kitty, and I didn't see that video. I'm gonna have to go check that out. So I'll check that out, Elf Lords. Thanks for that referral. That'll give me something else to look for. I must have missed that one. So she's phobic of bears, but we're worried more about the moose. There seem to be more of the problem, and the bears don't really bother people up there as long as you're not feeding them and whatnot. So. All right, so the next question I have for you is, you're afraid of the critters, but you're getting used to it.
Deers, yeah, I'm used to deers. I enjoy seeing deer. I enjoy seeing them prancing around. That's neat.
Coming out of the bushes and stuff. And
the
birds.
Not jumping out in the bushes and scaring me, but from a distance, right. I like seeing them.
Were you with me when we were up there and we were walking down by the creek and that deer jumped up
yes.
like 20 feet, scared to pee out of both of us? Or at least me.
I think it was you, and then you told me, but when we were walking up the hill to the right of our property, we heard a lot of noise, and then we saw that it was
the deer
jumping.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have lots of deer up on our property and all that area. We love it up there. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite thing to do when we're up there? So far.
In the morning, just having our coffee on the back patio watching, you know.
Yeah, the guys
And
that
in the evening,
the peace and quiet.
yes,
in the evening,
the
what do
peace
we
and
want to do in
quiet.
the evening?
Same thing. We'll sit out there on the patio, have tea or coffee, and just watch the deer come out, and yeah.
So would you say it's how different is that atmosphere up there compared to sitting on our porch in the back down here in California?
Well, it's all enclosed here with fencing, and we don't have that, that 4-acre view,
Right.
you know.
And we don't have our neighbor across this, on the other side of the fence hollering and hooping and playing his music.
Right.
And
But I like people watching too, so
but have you ever watched our neighbors over the fence?
through the cameras. No, not over the fence.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but like in the front, I mean, I like talking to our neighbors. I really love our neighbors. They are great.
Yeah, we do have some good neighbors where we're
We
at.
do.
Right here in the little town of Guadalajara.
Yeah,
We do have great neighbors. So
we do.
In the Woods with Wolf, hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So a lot of you guys don't know each other in your channels. Go check each other out, and do me a favor, guys, if you would, hit that like button and go check other channels out and subscribe and all that good stuff. So, all right, we'll have some more questions here. Maybe get caught up on a couple of comments here. So you got a friend in Northern Rancho or Etowanda Preserve? No, I'm not familiar with that, Robert. I'm not sure where that's at. Oh, right, Elf Lords, you are right. Not paying California taxes. Yeah, you are right about that. Garden Makeover. Hey, thanks for showing up. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. So you guys, those of you that are late, you guys can go back and get to know my wife a little bit. I'm asking her some questions here, interviewing her. You guys get to know her a little bit. Kind of a quick review. The city girl I married 25 years ago. I'm trying to take some of the city out of the girl and move her to an off-grid homestead up in Idaho. And so we're talking about that right now. So you're excited about, what else are you excited about moving up there? What do you hate anything about here like I do?
I don't think so. I mean, just the traffic mainly. I don't like big crowds, so. But.
Okay, so that definitely isn't up in Idaho. There's no traffic in Idaho.
Yeah,
That's
no
nice.
Traffic, yeah.
So I'm looking for some contrast and compare between there and here. Like, are you looking forward to this? Are you at some point?
I mean, it's peaceful there when I'm there being outside. It's peaceful, very private. Here, I'm in my house and I feel peaceful in my house. I don't, in my backyard, I hear people talking, but that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, the people in the backyard don't really bother me that much, but when we're trying to go to sleep and they're partying and having a good time out there, I mean, it's not so bad, but
yeah, it's loud.
But it can get pretty loud, and I guess not having grown up in the country like that,
Mm-hmm.
you notice the change. You see the difference from the beginning, and I've always known the difference between living out in the country and up in the mountains and the peaceful quiet of the mountains versus down here in the city. I can go outside and just stop, and it could be dead silent, 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's not hardly anything stirring, and I can still hear this really low background hiss of the freeways. Even though we're 5 miles from the freeway, I can still hear. Yeah,
you're kidding.
I can still hear this background noise that it's just the city, cars driving by on Harbor Boulevard, whatnot. Up there, nothing. It's dead quiet.
Dogs.
You hear some dogs maybe in the distance,
constantly barking.
You hear the birds, and you hear the wind through the trees, and that's all you hear.
And the creek.
And the creek.
Yeah, that's always nice.
So that's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you excited about
and I
then?
love the smog here.
Smog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smog isn't as bad as it used to be when I moved down here Elf Lord's journey, 30 years ago. It's gotten better, but now it's all of a sudden this last year has started to get bad again for some reason, even though we have all these electric cars and Teslas running around. So what are you excited about to move to Idaho? What are you looking forward to?
Um, I don't know, just to enjoy the quietness there, enjoy, you know, cleaning up the property or trimming the grass, the bushes, the trees, working on the house. I still have the energy to do that, so I'm looking forward to getting it ready so when we have visitors come over, they can have a place to stay.
What about like the pace of life down here compared to what it's going to be up there?
Well, it depends. I mean, if what job I get when I'm there. It's just definitely slower. I'll have to get used to it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So on that note, I have a friend that moved his wife, and he had grown up in not the city, but his wife was definitely a city girl, and they moved to northern Nevada, and he was afraid. He kept her kind of somewhat in the city for the first year they were there, just to see if she was going to be able to adjust, and with the snow and everything, because they have snow, and she ended up loving it. And we have some other friends of ours that he was a retired police officer. They were an elder in our church, and he retired up in Montana, and he's raising some cows, some steer. And she said when they hadn't built their house up there yet, but she stood out there on that property and looked down over it, and she said she cried because she was moving from everything she'd ever known and moving out to the country. And we're talking out in the country. This is farmland, cattle raising land. And they moved out there, and she cried. And then they built the house, and they moved in. And now two of her daughters live like 5 or 6 hours away, and another one still lives down here with us. But she found that she could jump on an airplane and get really cheap round trip flight right out of the nearest town in Missoula, and come down here and be with her daughter and her grandkids. And the grandkids come up there all the time. She says she wished she had done it, years ago.
And two of her daughters live in Washington.
Yeah, and she wished she had done it years ago, and wondered why she didn't, why she was so afraid of that. And it's because that's all she'd ever known. So, I've taken her up there to Idaho. We've been up there 4 times now. Been to our place, stayed there. We're going to go again, and every time she's loved it. We've been camping. The softball playing city girl. She really enjoys going camping and all that stuff. We RVing and all that stuff, riding quads. So introducing her to the homesteading side of it, the gardening and all that stuff, self-sufficiency, she has really taken to it. She's really, really liking it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's definitely going to be a little bit of a culture shock for her to move full time, but she's definitely already taking to it. So I got a couple more questions for you, honey. I know she's making arroz con leche right now, so that's a Mexican dish. Cinnamon and sugar with milk and in white rice, and oh, it's a treat. I'd rather have that than sweets any day. So we have a couple. Okay, all right, Russ. Thanks for that. So you got some drunk bears on your property drinking your neighbor's moonshine? That's funny. You're gonna have to explain that one. Dang it! I wish Dorothy was in here. I really would love for her to ask some questions and stuff. Elf Lord's journey. Your wife would never move to the sticks. Yeah. So Elf Lord's, without being specific, where we're at, we're literally 10 minutes. We're exactly 7 miles from the nearest town, and it's a small town by anybody's standards, 1,500, 2,500 people or something like that. But it's got all the major. It's got a Wells Fargo. It's got a Ace Hardware store. It's got a huge grocery store. There's actually a Mexican restaurant in this little town that is fabulous. Excuse me. We've eaten there twice now. It's so good, and it was awesome. So we're literally 10 minutes from town. So we're not out in the sticks, but we are definitely in a hidden place, away from the hustle and bustle of any big city, and it's fantastic. So I may be taking her out of the city, but it's not far. I've seen some of these homesteaders. They're an hour. they're an hour from the nearest small town, and if something happens to them, they're going to be hurting. So I was hoping that some of you ladies that are watching, I was hoping Russ's wife would be in here. Who else do we have in here tonight? In the woods with Wolfie, if you're still here or not. What else have we got in here tonight? Providence Farmstead. April and Fam, thank you for Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers. If any of you ladies have questions for Olivia, or vice versa, if you have a question for any of these ladies, any of you ladies are actually homesteaders and have been doing it for a long time, we would love to hear from you. And if you have any tips, garden makeover. Well, a small town is still better than a big town like what we live in, garden makeover. In the woods with Wolfie, I don't know if you have a lady there watching, or if you are a lady, I don't know yet. But if any of you guys have any questions for Olivia, you can ask. I'm trying to get her comfortable with the idea of homesteading, and if any of you guys have any hints and tips and advice for her that would make it easier for her to transition into that, would be fantastic. So this kind of turned into an unintentional tribute to my wife. You know, she's the mother of my 2 children, and she's just been a fantastic mom. We were very, very blessed and fortunate. I lost my mom when I was 10, and so that was something that I had, when I had prayed for a wife years ago, I just, let God say, hey, if you're gonna give me a wife, please don't let happen to her what happened to my mom. I've been through this one time, and I was 10 years old when she passed. So we have been very, very fortunate. She's healthy, and just very blessed that she's been able to watch my kids grow up and all the way through college. So, garden makeover. You grew up on a small farm. You guys had everything. Wow, that's fantastic. Cows, pigs, chickens, with a huge garden. Okay, so you're trying to get her more involved in life at the cabin. She's been an in-town kind of person. So on that note, in the woods with Wolfie, there's a channel that I watch. I won't mention the name, but you guys, if you guys watch him, you'll know who I'm talking about. He's actually on an off-grid property in Northern California, and his wife lives back in, I think it's Nevada. And they're, as far as I know, they're still happily married. But I asked him, kind of on a side chat or a message, and I said, hey, so I don't want to pry, but where's your wife? I mean, I've heard you talk about her. I think I've seen her once or twice in a video here and there, but he does all the videos. It's all about his cooking and his garden and all that stuff. And he says that she doesn't like the solitude. And so I thought, well, gosh. So that's interesting. Back in the woods, in the woods with Wolfie. I'm just curious what it would take for the ladies to be more. Is it just is it like a fear or a lack of experience, or a fear of the unknown and not knowing how or what to do? So on that issue, how come you're so willing to just? I mean, obviously we're married, but you didn't fight this at all.
No. Because I think that when I met you, you didn't really have family that was close, and so you kind of, adopted my family and dealt with, all the issues and, drama with my family. And I feel that, if this is your dream to move out to Idaho or out in the country, I'm, like I said earlier, I'm willing to try it, because I think you've given so much, to me and to my family, helping my parents in the business and all that. And I'm willing to make your dreams happen. Um, so that's why I'm willing
But
to go.
like some of our friends here, they've mentioned, um, yeah, in the woods with Wolfie, it's work issues. You can't just go in the car and drive anywhere. Um, 2 miles into the woods from the road. We're 1.4 miles into the woods from the road. I'll talk about that more in a second. Well, I'll explain that right now. We do have a neighbor. The road kind of parts, and one neighbor maintains about a mile of that first part of the road, and where our driveway turns off and goes to we're at the end of the road. It's about a half a mile, and I have to maintain that. And so we get a couple of feet of snow every year in Idaho, and I'm gonna have to. I can't wait to have a tractor. I'm a heavy equipment operator anyway, so it's what I do. But I can't wait to have my own tractor and plow that road. So as long as I can keep that road plowed and clear, so she can drive in and out, put some snow tires on her 4-wheel drive, and she can drive in and out, then I'm not going to have a problem with her getting to town to work. And she's going to find a job locally, I'm sure. So as long as it's not a problem, the road issue is fine for her. So I totally hear you. We've already kind of planned on that. But so I mean, would you rather stay here? Or are you excited about a new adventure?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a new adventure. Like I said, when we move, I don't want to sell this place yet. That way we could, if I don't like it, move back. And if everything's fine, then we'll sell and,
Yeah.
stay there for good.
So I guess with some of you guys, opening up and sharing your stories too, I think I've seen this time and time and again, how blessed I am with this lady right here. She is willing to go with me, to support me in my dreams and getting away from the city. I'm very, very blessed to have her. And so on this Mother's Day, this ended up being a tribute to my wife and to all of you ladies out there that are doing this, and you ladies that support your husbands, and you husbands where your wives aren't there right now or whatever, hey, maybe take a second to just have a little extra appreciation for what she has done and what she does do, to support your dreams and to support you and what you guys do in your life. They do a lot, She's been a stay-at-home mom most of our marriage, which has been a blessing, and that's a full-time job. That's a full-time and a half job. Because once the kids are taken care of, she doesn't stop working until she goes to bed. I've always looked at it as a housewife that's not a house sitter kicking back, babysitting the house. That's taking care of business. That's the other half of it. So I am very blessed. So
His wife would live on a cruise ship.
That's funny because people do that, right? I don't know. I couldn't do it.
I've never been on a cruise ship.
I've never been on a cruise ship. I'm afraid to, honestly, because of all the stories you hear, the horror stories of all the people on the cruises getting sick. So, in the woods with Wolfie, you said your neighbor at the cabin is the same. He lives in his cabin. His wife lives in Toronto and only spends part of her time at their cabin. Oh, that's interesting. So in the woods, I think you're up in Canada, if I remember right. Yeah, she is very special. I'm very, very blessed. And it is an off-grid house. Thanks for remembering that. And that wasn't something that I was set on doing, but I was very, very specific on the kind of place I was looking for. But being the off-grid thing does make her a little nervous. But I've done my homework and done my research, and the place is livable. The lady that lived there was there 19 years by herself, so she was totally fine. So we met her. We love her. Her name's Liz, and she's just fantastic. They have hit it off, and Liz is always there to help and give advice and whatnot. So there's definitely some hardier hardier people in this world than either one of us. So, um, you've done 5, never had any problems. Oh, Eastern Ontario. Okay, in the woods. Yeah. But I think all you Canadians are all. We have a few friends that are Canadians, and they're down here. And I think all of you Canadians that stay up there, you guys are all missing about a half a screw. You guys to live in snow 8 months out of the year. That's pretty special. Bless your hearts. So, the goats, cows, chickens, and all that. We're definitely going to have chickens. We're going to have a garden, and I plan on having an orchard. I plan on building a pretty special greenhouse because down here in California we have an avocado tree, an orange tree, and I have a macadamia nut tree, and they won't survive a winter or a freeze, so they have to be housed in a greenhouse. There's a guy on YouTube, something Fitch, and he's up in Michigan, and he's done what they call a wallapini, which is a greenhouse that's half in the ground, and he has pipes underneath the ground that circulate the air. And if any of you know that the air underground is constantly at about 55 degrees, little cooler in the winter, a little warmer in the summer, but it's pretty much, it never gets above 60 degrees, and it really never drops below 50. So he circulates that constant air through his greenhouse all winter long, and he has a whole citrus orchard in Michigan where it gets minus 30 degrees. So he's making a killing up there. The guy's 90 some years old, and he's making a killing on oranges up there in Michigan because he's growing them fresh out of his orchard right there. So I'm going to be doing that up there because I want to grow avocado, macadamia nut, and an orange tree. I'm determined to not have it. So we're going to have a garden up there. I would love to be self-sufficient where we only have to go to the grocery store for some like sugar, milk. I don't know if any of you guys have goats or cows now. I know quite a bit. Well, Robert, you got your pension 27 years. I don't know how much your pension's worth now, but hey, you guys got that special deal. You guys can retire at 50 or 55 if you got enough years and time in, right? So, hey, Chris, Single Dad Homestead showed up. Heaven's Gate Cherry Farm, yep, they're in Michigan as well, yep. Back in the woods, I have not decided yet because keep going back and forth. My mind was set on a Kubota, and there's an auction place up here that does estate sales, and they seem like they have a really, really awesome 1, 2, 3 Kubotas for sale, $30,000 Kubotas every week for like 12 to 15 grand. Good used ones with under 1,000 hours on them. So my mind has been set on a Kubota, but if I find a good deal on a good John Deere, or I'm looking at the Yanmars, I'm looking at RK tractors, but RK is back east with you guys. So I'm looking at a couple different tractors out there. Branson tractor, Capper Outdoors had just picked up like a $40,000 or $50,000 Branson for $16,000. I mean, he's got a smoking deal on that thing because he just bought a great big farm. He's in Illinois, and they just bought a great big farm down in Kentucky, and they're moving down there. So, any of you guys have never heard of Capper Outdoors? That YouTube channel is fantastic. So, Chris, darn it, you were probably watching Roots and Refuge, Chris, and I don't blame you. I was watching them talk again. Those are just neat people, and they're back there with you anyway. So, you'll have to go back and watch the live stream, Chris. I've interviewed my wife, and so you guys kind of get to know her a little bit. So we were talking about the move and stuff, and now we're answering some people's questions about our move to Idaho and that kind of thing. So, Heaven's Gate Cherry Farm is in Michigan. I think but they're growing cold weather crops. They're growing cherries and apples and that kind of thing. That's stuff that survives a winter freeze. Matter of fact, all of those crops, the trees have to freeze and come back every spring. So the trees I'm talking about bringing with me, I'm going to have those too. I'm going to have cherry trees. I'm going to have the cold weather apples and pears, all that stuff. I want a walnut tree. I would love to have all that stuff up there. So, but the ones I'm talking about putting in one of my greenhouses are warm weather trees. So, so I can't wait, Chris, to hear. Yeah, I know, Chris. I know. That's fine. That's I get it. That's fine. That's why most everybody's watching. most of the compliments I get are, when she shows up, and those are my top videos is when her face is in there. So, uh, who else we got in here?
Did you have another question for me, or is that what did I do?
Timeline is honestly, it's going to be probably about 3 years. What did you do?
Nothing.
Did you put up 3?
No.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
If I had my way, I don't know if Danae's still watching. My daughter was watching a little while ago. She's probably already studying for school. She's got 3 semesters to go, less than a year to go, and she'll be out of her nursing. My plan was to be, when she was done with nursing next a year from this summertime, to be up in Idaho. But she's going to be vested in her pension at the school district in 3 more years. And my son, if he sticks with his college and goes to the local 4-year, he'll be done in 3 years. So realistically, that's probably what we're going to end up doing. But if I had my way, if I could make enough money up there and to support both places, I would. But there's no way. We make way more money down here right now, and that's what we're doing. We're paying off all the bills, and we're getting rid of all the debt. So when we move up there, we have nothing. We have everything we need, and we can start homesteading. So. So there was a couple other questions. Back in the woods, you have a Kubota. You've had one for a year, and all right. Well, I think I might have watched one of your videos about your Kubota back in the woods. I'm gonna definitely be.
What size does he have?
What size is it? What model is it?
Is it the L or the B?
Yeah, is it the L or the B? The B series or the L series? 'Cause I'm looking at L's. I think I need to have at least 35 to 40 horsepower because I want to run a chipper. I want to run a snowblower. I know the B series you can put a snowblower on, but I'm also going to be pulling logs out, and I also would like to start a tractor service up there. So if I get an L series, M is just way too big, but the L series tractor in the 40 horsepower range is what I'm looking at, with a dump trailer, so I can do driveways and haul gravel, and I do yard clearing, property maintenance, brush hogging, that kind of thing, and do that for people. I've been running cranes for almost 13 years now, and yeah, it's still fun most of the time, as long as the job is exciting and there's something new and something big to pick up. I don't know if Keith McKenzie's still watching. He's another crane operator that I worked with for many years, and same thing. Robert Beck, he was one of my iron worker foremen, one of my signal men. He was watching a minute ago, and he knows it gets old after a while. You've been there, done it, So you love your Kubota, raising a garden, can your own food, raise animals. Hey, speaking of that garden makeover, learning what plants are safe to eat. So she's giving that hint to you. Garden makeover is telling you. Mm-hmm. So on that note, garden makeover, I'm gonna have to give her a safe enclosure. I'm going to have to build a good solid wire fence with an electric fence around the garden area, so that she can go in there and not feel like she's got to be looking over her shoulder for a bear coming in or a moose. And it's going to have to be strong enough to stand up to a moose. And almost every garden we've seen down there, they got 10-foot 4x4s sunk in the ground 2 feet. It's 8 foot tall, and it's just not lightweight chicken wire or plastic fencing. It is the hardcore big mesh for any kind of a decent garden up there, because of the moose problem that they have. The moose will just come and lean on your chicken wire fence, and they'll just walk right over they're so tall, right? So that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to take some extra steps to make sure that she feels safe. Well, myself too. I mean, I don't want a bear sneaking up on me. We're not planning on planting any bear bait. So. But yeah, if I can get her busy doing all that, we start, providing for ourselves and have our own chickens, and do any of you guys have goats? I see a lot of people with goats. We had them as kids on our 11 acres in Oregon, and my dad got them simply to eat the poison oak. And so goats do a tremendous job at keeping the brush down, but a lot of people milk them. And goat milk is supposed to be really healthy and good for you, as well as some people eat them. Goat meat is supposed to be, Chris, I think you were saying this last time, that there's there's more goat meat consumed in the world than any other meat, right? So, um, now, Chris, if you're going to come provide garden security during the hunting season, you're just going to be there because you want the free bear hide. That's fine. I know how you are, you know. Yeah, you do have goats. That's right. You got rid of the pigs and you have the goats. And I've watched your gardening and your greenhouse and other stuff in there. In the woods with Wolfie. Russ, he's gonna get a video of him riding a bear. Russ, I'll send you $100 cash if I get a video of you riding a bear, but I know it's never gonna happen. So I'm curious, Chris, if you're gonna be eating those goats, you're gonna be milking them, or are you using them just for yard maintenance? That's kind of where I'm headed with that. We also want to do alpacas. I know I mentioned that last week on the live stream. You guys referred me to Red Bushel Farms, and I went and looked at her videos, and she is fantastic. Thank you for that referral, guys. I forget who it was that was telling me. I mean, it was Browsers. They were talking Abby's Kitchen. Hey, it's Abby. That's Browsers. That's Brett and Amy's daughter. Thank you for showing up, Abby. That was so nice of you. So some of you guys referred me to Red Bushel Farms, and she was shearing an alpaca. And that's what they do, is they go around, they shear sheep and alpacas for people. And she told me, oh, okay. So Chris is going to milk them and eat them and then use them, well, obviously feed them with his, they mow the grass down. Mm-hmm. But see, we've been told that there's wolves in our area, as well as the coyotes. And like North Country Off Grid, they lost, we also have a mountain lion supposedly in the area as well. And Chad and Shelby at North Country Off Grid, they just lost that goat just a few months back, and he was tracking the blood in the snow. And they figure that was one of their favorite goats, and that they figure a mountain lion got it. That was the first time. But they have big dogs. They let their goats free range, but they have some big dogs that keep all the predators out. But apparently they didn't do a good enough job this time, and it got one of their goats. So, Chris, are you gonna fence in your goats? Do you have them penned up all the time? Are you gonna let them free range at all? Because that's definitely an issue where you have predators. So, anyway, I was answering somebody else's. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, lions and tigers and bears and giraffes and elephants, and we got everything up there. Oh no, that's not Jeremy. All right, that's Dave. Okay, so
I remember you telling me.
Okay, so all right, guys, I have a confession to make here. So Jeremy is over at Living the Dream Homestead, and I had him confused with David Reese from Imagine Acre Wood. Thanks for coming in, David. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna confess, and I'm gonna put myself on the hot spot. Last week, David Reese here with Imagine Acre Wood was in here and chatting away, and I kept calling him Josh. And for some reason, I thought that there was
Jeremy.
No, I was calling him Josh from Essential Mountain Homesteading. I thought there was an Imagine Acre and Imagine Acre Wood. I thought there was two different ones, and apparently, for whatever reason, I wrote it down wrong. So I was calling him Josh. So I apologize to you on live, in front of all of our Homestead friends. I had it wrong. So there's the cheat sheet again, guys, and it's getting longer. It's the pages are falling out of it now. So I'm gonna get this straight, and I apologize, but I'm writing stuff down every time now. So anyway, and Dave is up there north of Sandpoint, and he's right around the corner from Bear Paw Timber. Russ, I was telling you about Bear Paw Timber and how to harvest a chicken, and he has a video where he does it. Of course, YouTube made sure it was not monetized, but he shows it from the very beginning to the very, very end, and he presents the chicken completely skinned, headless and legless and gutless, right there, ready to throw on the barbecue, right there, all in one video. And YouTube hasn't taken it down yet. So, you guys want to learn how how to harvest a chicken from beginning to end, go watch Bear Paw Timber, and he's just up the country, and him and Dave know each other. So Dave is in the house. Yes, Dave, thank you. So I don't know if it's because my memory or I think when I first started this whole thing with YouTube, I was so excited and just overwhelmed with all of you people and how many neat people I was meeting out there. And I was just furiously, writing names and stuff down, and I was trying to, but sometimes in your videos you don't say who you are. And that reminds me, I wanted to tell you guys, I know Nick, if any of you guys watch Nick Nimmons, I know Rush, you do, a lot of people watch Nick Nimmons and the YouTube hints and stuff. I think he says, do the quick intro, who you are and what you're about. And so I think that's why I got all confused at the very beginning, because a lot of videos, some of you guys don't say what your names are, and I have to go search it and look in your about section and that kind of thing. So I've tried to start incorporating my name, hey, I'm Scott from Hidden Valley Homestead, and that helps. So I apologize for getting some of you guys confused up there, but I promise to do better, and I'm not going to make that mistake with David Reese. And David Reese, do you guys have yaks yet? I don't remember seeing a video where you've got the yaks, but you're going to have yaks, or they're coming. So he's going to be raising yaks up there in North Idaho. I can't wait. Yeah, Bear Paw. Hey, Chris, Single Dad Homestead. You need to go check out Bear Paw. What did I say? See, I'm so excited I can't even keep my.
I'll stop. Robert back.
No, Robert, I'm not working tonight. I don't do that till tomorrow morning. Bear Paw Timber. Chris, he's an ex-Marine, and that guy, he actually has a video of him when he was in the Marines, teaching guys survival and how to harvest a chicken while he was in the Marines. Really cool video. So, Chris, you're an ex-Marine. You'd like his stuff. He's a good dude. Hey, thanks, Robert. Thank you for the Happy Mother's Day. Have fun on your new job. I'll stop. That was his big thing, was I'll stop. Instead of saying cable, swing, high, trolley, stall, instead of stopping everything, he'd just say I'll stop. I'd give him a hard time about that. Mimsy's Garden. Hey, thanks for coming in. Hey, Dave here. That's your standard. So you got the yaks are coming in 2 weeks. So you guys already have pigs, chickens, geese, dogs and cats. Yeah. The only reason we'll have a cat is to be a mouser. She doesn't like cats. So yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in back in the woods. You have a good night. Thank you very much for coming in. So I can't wait to see your yaks, Dave. And I'll have to email you some more and get some more information on what you're doing with the yaks. Are you going to use them for meat, like buffalo meat? Or are you going to use them for your own meat? And are you going to have a whole bunch of them, or what do you plan on doing? So, yeah, that's right, Semper Fi. That's my other buddy. He's ex-Marine. He's up there in northern Nevada, and he beat me out of state. We started talking about moving out of state together. We were working on the Wilshire Grand downtown LA, up there. Working the cranes, and he was just like, man, I got to get out of here, and he beat me to it. I'm really jealous of him, but yeah, definitely need a mouser. So wool and meat, are you going to sell the meat, Dave, or are you going to just eat it yourself? So, oh, interesting, pack animals. Oh, that'll be interesting. Kind of like donkeys and whatnot. So we're planning on definitely having the chickens. We'll have a cat or two for the mousing kind of thing, I'm sure. Have our dog. I like to have alpacas. That Red Bushel Farms I went and looked at, and she was answering some of my questions, and it's the same thing I had researched up there in northern Idaho. They have huge alpaca farms up there in Idaho. It's a pretty neat deal up there. Alpaca wool, for any of your ladies that knit, alpaca wool is softer than regular sheep's wool. And it's more expensive. They get between $4 and $7 an ounce, not a pound, an ounce for that stuff, and that's the raw wool that you shear off the animal. So, that's what we're. That's I'd like to do that. We get a couple of those and start harvesting that. So, any of you guys have any more questions for my wife? I think she's gonna get ready. We're gonna probably we go to bed pretty early because we're up pretty. We're not. I wish I could survive on 4 or 5 hours of sleep like you do, Chris. But boy, oh boy, I need my sleep. So I'm going to be up there in a crane. We're in a crane. So yeah, you have to go back and review Chris on get to know my wife a little bit and learn and see what she's all about. And I'm really excited to me moving her off grid and out there in the boonies, taking the city out of the girls. So wool and meat, that's interesting. All right, so I'm way caught up on comments tonight. So yeah, you're right, Dave. No, I plan on keeping the chickens in a very, very secure pen. I've done all my research on that. We, believe it or not, we had to keep our chickens in a secure pen right here in the city because we had possums, and possums will come in and kill, and skunks will come in and kill a chicken almost just as much as a coyote will, or a stray dog. So I'm already used to the security part of it. But we're gonna have chickens. And at some point I'll get with some of you guys and get your recommendations for a dual purpose chicken, one that has decent meat on it but also lays eggs, because we're gonna do both. I'll be harvesting chickens too. So you're gonna go. Oh gosh, you know what, Chris? That's what I'm hoping for. So I'll give you an idea of wages. So a crane operator average crane operator is 45 to 50 bucks an hour down here. Up in Idaho, it's between 27 and 35. So what does that work out to? About 30%. About a 30% decrease, but the cost of living up there is half of what it is down here, with property taxes and expenses and everything. Gas taxes, just everything is so much more expensive down here. So I figure if I can go run a crane up there or some heavy equipment, or if I have my own business, I can easily survive up there. So yeah, you are absolutely right, Chris. And that's what I'm expecting, is that it's going to be a lot easier to live up there. So did you have any other questions, honey, for any of the moms out there? Well, that's interesting, Dave, about the raptors eating the chickens up there, because so I plan on having them completely enclosed. I've seen, well, like Chad and Shelby, they had to put a roof over their chickens, I think. There's been a few channels I've been watching where they had that same problem, and so they had to put some chicken wire over the top, and had runs, and they had a chicken tractor they would move around and take care of that security problem. So no, I plan on doing a lot of security for our chickens. I'm not gonna go through that. Okay, let's see here. So I can get caught up on comments tonight. So we have eight watching in here. Thank you guys again for so much for watching. I'm very humble and very glad that you guys are in here. So I've seen a lot of people talk, Imagine Acre Wood, a lot of people talk about geese and ducks, and a lot of people love to eat duck. I don't think I've ever had duck. Have you ever had duck? Mm-mm. And I've never had goose meat, so I'm curious as to what that would be like. Mimsy's Garden is in here. So nice. These are all veteran YouTubers. Even Chris is a veteran YouTuber, because he's one of the big dogs, and he's blessing us with his presence tonight. So so Dave, okay, I did miss a credit. So Dave, there's no need for apologies as long as I bring the meat to grill. Is that what you said there? Oh, he didn't say that. He just said can't wait to grill in July. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I can't wait. So we'd love to come up and see you guys. Be fantastic.
For questions, I don't think I have questions right now. I'm sure once we do move out there and I'm actually living there, I think I'll probably have more questions on how they did it. Right now, I'm just enjoying the days, each day right now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking so much for the future, just kind of doing my daily thing.
Yeah, and that's probably why she's my better half. She keeps me grounded. I'm constantly wanting to talk to her about what we're gonna do when we get there and making plans, and she's just like, I don't want to. I really don't. Okay, she'll listen for a little bit, but then I start to bore her, and she's like, we kind of got to live in the here and now for right now. Have to focus on our kids and helping them out and paying off our bills and just keeping our head down to the grind for right now. But it's gonna come. That day's gonna come, and if you didn't have the plans in place, of course you can't plan for everything. But
right, yeah, but it's good to talk about it and share our thoughts.
So we'll see. And Dave, wish he had a job to offer. That's right. Did you go back and watch my live? You must have watched my live stream from last week, and I interviewed. I went back and watched it, and that's when I realized my mistake. And I hope that was a good interview. So if you ever do have a job to offer me, Dave, I'll come work for you. Anyway, that was so funny. Let's see here. Let's see. Russ says that duck tastes like foot bread. Okay. I'm gonna ask, what's foot bread? Are you saying like toe jam? Is that what foot bread is? Is it you're saying nasty, or you like them? You know what? I've seen that, Dave, about geese to protect your chickens. I've heard that. I've heard that geese do a good job. Yeah, I want to make sure I have a good cage around our chickens. So I'll make sure to do all that and make sure they're. Yeah, that's true, Dave. That they take a long time to start laying. It was like 6 to 9 months or so when we bought our first chicks. It was about 6 months before they started laying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 to 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris, you're saying that you're better off to raise us. You gonna go? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Good night,
you,
everyone. Happy Mother's Day to those that are on, and look forward to chatting more with you guys later. Have a good night.
All right, she's gonna take off, guys. She's gonna get ready. She's doing a little bit of laundry and all that stuff. Bless on Mother's Day. I did everything else for her today. Cooked breakfast and lunch and gave her a foot massage and all that good stuff. She got to take a nap today, so I pampered her today. So took care of her. IRDs are fun. So that's a breed of chicken, I'm going to assume. Indian runner ducks. Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw that comment, Dave. Indian runner ducks. They're fun, messy. So why would you get something that's fun and messy and not getting them for meat, just as to protect your herd, Dave? If that would, or your herd, your flock of chickens. Sorry. They make noise when predators come in at night. Chickens. That's true. Interesting you say that, Dave, because when we had our chickens here at our house, we don't currently have any. I know rats would try and sneak in, and I didn't have it completely enclosed all the way, and so rats would come in and they would grab a couple of the eggs. They would freak out at night, and you would hear them. But I think for the most part they are pretty quiet. But I do remember the chickens. Is it maybe just the one chicken that's getting attacked will make noise, but not the other one? So interesting. Well, Chris, if you have any advice for Olivia as far as a city girl moving to the country, that's what we were looking for tonight. So, Mimsy's garden is looking at the Indian runner ducks. Okay, I got you. So, Chris, were you saying that? Right? She wants me to slow my roll down. Chris, were you saying it would be better to raise a separate breed of chickens for meat and then a separate breed of chickens for eggs, and have them separate, or can you have them in the same place? Because will they interbreed? Because from what I understand, when we had the layers that we had, they were scrawny. They weren't any good for meat. I mean, there was probably a little bit of meat on their bones, and you could probably eat one, but especially after they were 6-7 years old, they're probably kind of tough and stringy. So I don't know that I would want to eat one necessarily, but I don't know, maybe you could boil them, make them soft in a soup. So anyway, hey, getting started on homesteading. Thanks for coming in. Thank you very much. Yeah, we finished our Mother's Day dinner we had kind of a late dinner, a late lunch and an early dinner. So we finished a little while ago, and she knew that we were going to do this tonight. So if you guys are just now coming into it, I interviewed my wife for you guys to all kind of get to know her and give you guys a little background on her, and she was sharing her thoughts and stuff. I'm taking a city girl and moving her to the country. So anyway, yeah, Chris, I'd be interested to know about whether you can have 2 separate breeds in there at the same time, and if that'll be a problem for you to have them separate, one for meat and one for layers. So yeah, I was saying, Russ, what is footbred? Dogs distracted you, and I missed that till it was said out loud. Geese will follow you. Yeah, that's interesting. Good night, Mimsy's Garden. Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. Footbird is what they give to POWs. Okay. 8 to 10 weeks for a meat bird. That is interesting. So you had them, but they lay eggs. Okay. So you don't raise them for meat. So that's interesting, Dave. I'm curious why you wouldn't... Yeah, you can do it, Chris. Right on. Oh, that's interesting, Mimsy. Oh, thanks for sticking around for another minute or two. They're for your garden, and they forage on slugs, and so they don't eat your vegetables or your plants in your garden. That's interesting. Oh, so Dave, you just asked. Yes, duck eggs. I was just. Well, you know what? I watched Roots and Refuge. I watched Jess talk about chickens and the whole thing from beginning to end, and talking about how to survive and make money on a homestead. That's a fantastic. She goes through every facet of whether or not to sell your eggs, if you're going to sell your eggs, how far from town you are, how are you going to make money on them. And so she said they decided to not sell their eggs for money, but she started selling the eggs as hatchlings. And they were making, when she was making, $12 on a couple dozen eggs, she would make $75 on the same number of hatchlings for these breeds of chickens. So, but duck eggs get a lot more. They get double the money that you'd get for chickens. And she was talking about duck eggs, finding a restaurant that you could make. If you find one restaurant that would buy your homegrown organic duck eggs and chicken eggs, that would be the way to make money. If you were going to try and make money off your chicken eggs, that would be the way to do it, especially if you live far enough from town. So, okay, so you're going to separate the meat birds from the layers, okay, because they get hungry. Duck eggs for baking, okay. I know ducks are messy. You got to have a little pond for them to run around in. You got to have water for them all the time. So, oh, thank you, Mimsy. Hey. Mimsy's Garden said good night, honey.
Oh, good night.
So they forage weeds and would eat cabbage, but not the tomatoes and the peas. Huh. So they would eat the cabbage. That's interesting. So she was gonna take off, but she's still here. She was telling you good night.
Good night.
So Chris is saying that meat birds get ready for butchering in 8 to 10 weeks. 10 pounds in 8 to 10 weeks. Wow. So Mimsy's Garden, she's not going to sell her IRDs or ducks. And she has ducks because they eat the slugs and the bugs, and she said it ate a little bit of her cabbage but didn't bother her peas or her tomatoes. She's only going to get a couple of them. Okay, Mimsy, I'm going to go check out that video. You know what? I heard that on another channel. Somebody was talking about using beer to kill the slugs in their garden. You know, somebody made the comment. It was on a live stream this week. Somebody was talking about that. Maybe it was Browser's. I don't know. It was you. You think you were talking about it, Mimsy's Garden, with somebody else about beer, and I thought, well, if you've got a lot of, and somebody said Budweiser, and I thought, well, Bud's not so bad, but Coors Light, I definitely, you get that stuff cheap on sale. I'd use that to kill slugs all day long. But any of the other beers out there, no way. I want to waste it on slugs. I'll get salt. Okay, yeah. So I've seen a couple of people with their duck pond, their little duck enclosures, and they just have one of those little kiddie pools with some water in there. So I thought that was pretty neat. So, are you gonna go to sleep, Russ? Thank you for coming in, brother. I appreciate it. We'll keep talking. So, any of you guys don't know Russ from Happy Colorado Homestead? He's a riot to watch. He gets excited and has fun up there. So, we're gonna be doing a live stream with him. We're all trying to figure out how to use OBS and how to do multiple live streams and how to connect with each other and all that stuff. I'm a dunce when it comes to this stuff. So look for the 1 minute video. Okay, I'll check that. I'll check that out, Mimsy. All right. So that's interesting because we have slugs and snails down here, and I just put out the slug and snail bait and just ring it around the garden, and I don't usually have a problem with them coming in, but. Yeah, salt destroys the plants. Yeah, as soon as I said that, I realized I knew my mistake. And you're right. You know, you start throwing salt down, and it makes your ground too poisonous. So anyway, so gosh, meat birds. That's interesting. So I'm going to have to look into that as far as raising a flock of meat birds, because if they're ready to harvest in 8 to 10 weeks, that's fast. Are you going to have a flock that's going to lay eggs, and you're going to constantly have new chicks coming up and then have to harvest them all the time? So it sounds to me like you're not going to want a really big flock if you're going to raise meat birds, because once they have, a dozen chicklets running around, that's basically a dozen chickens you're going to have to harvest and then, put in the freezer. If you're doing that every 8 to 10 weeks, so I guess no, you know what, Mimsy's Garden, I've been using the pellets, and it's like made out of sawdust or something. It might be. And I'd like to go organic too. I just bought a whole bunch of organic non-GMO seeds for our garden. I gotta go plant. We still have to do that before we go to bed tonight, honey. We gotta plant our other seeds. So I don't know if any of you guys watched any of the videos that I put up a couple weeks ago, but I had planted our garden going on 5 weeks ago, and only half of it came up, and then so I was thinking that some of my seeds were too old. So I had a lot of people commenting saying, "Hey, seeds." They found seeds in the tombs in Egypt, and some of those seeds germinated. Not all of them, but there's people that say, "I've had seeds that were 5, 6, 7 years old, and they did just fine." So I've kept them in a cool, dry place. Half of them didn't come up, so I had to go buy some new seeds. So we got to put some of those into. Okay, cool. Thank you, Mimsy. You know what? I need to just make you a moderator. There, I just made you a moderator, Mimsy. You can post your links anytime. You're a great YouTube creator and contributor. I love that. So there you go. You are now a moderator. So you buy 75 at a time and harvest every 15 days or so after the 8 to 10 weeks. Okay. So how much? Okay, Chris. So how much is a meat chick? Or do you buy the eggs and then you incubate them and hatch them yourself? So how much are we talking? Are we talking 75 cents a chick, or a couple dollars a chick? Because if we're talking a couple bucks a chick, and then you got to spend all that time with the. I mean, obviously, I know we're going for the organic, right? We're going for pure clean meat, so you know what they're eating. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it might cost you So the whole point of going and homesteading and going organic is because you want to know where your meat comes from. You want to know that it's fed with non-GMO crap. There's those chemicals and hormones in it, all of that. But also to save money, right? It's got to be cheap, or that's what I want. You got to be able to live on the cheap. You're trying to save money, not have to go to the grocery store and pay all those prices. So tell me how much. Thank you, Mimsy. Yeah. So I'm not a big dog like Chris or any of these other big channels. At least not yet. I'm hoping to be a big channel like those guys. And thanks to you guys, I have been growing like crazy, like leaps and bounds. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris, for everything that you do. But I haven't had any trolls in any of my life. I think we had one last week. Somebody. I think Chris banned somebody last week that popped in. So I guess I did have a troll. So maybe I'm getting big enough. So anyway, so $1.25 a chick. Okay, so I always do the math. I'm constantly looking at the mileage and like on my motorcycle, I ride my motorcycle to work every day because it saves me $400 and some a month in gas. If I drove my diesel truck to work, I'd spend easily $500 a month on my motorcycle. I'm spending $100 a month in fuel because I get way better mileage. So I'm a numbers guy. So if you buy them for $1.25 a chick, and then how much is a whole chicken per pound at the store, honey? 99 cents a pound.
89 cents a pound.
So and how much is a full dressed out chicken at the store?
Like, well, at Costco, ready to go, it's $6 cooked and all.
Not cooked. I'm talking about raw.
Oh, it depends how many pounds. $4 for a whole chicken.
$4 or $5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so $4 to $5 for a 4 to 5 pound chicken that's ready to cook at the store. But then you know that it's been grown with hormones. So for me, it's always if it's a wash, I'm doing it. And plus, it's you're providing for yourself. You know where it's coming from. You know there's no chemicals and hormones in it, right? So if it's a wash or yeah, well, okay. In the woods with Wolfie. Okay, so you got 4 chicks for $1, so 25 cents each, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was 20 years ago, but I know when we bought chicks here for layers, they were, what are they, 75 cents a piece here at Cruise Feed, honey?
The chicken?
Yeah.
Like $2.
Were they $2?
Something.
No, we got layers, and they were $2 a piece for chicks at the local feed. It was or was not a lot of work?
I thought it was. Keeping them in the house with the light and the bottom.
Oh, when we first started, yes, this is true. So she's talking about when we first got chicks, we had to keep them under a heat lamp, keep them warm so that we didn't lose any, when they were first growing up until they got big enough to survive overnight outside in the cold. So we had a heat lamp and all that stuff. So you guys are all familiar with that. You've got to have a heat source. So an organic. So I guess so. What you're saying is, if I'm gonna do the comparison with what we're all doing on our homesteads, I need to look at it from if I'm gonna compare numbers, I need to compare numbers with organic that we see in the stores. And in that case, organic eggs in the store are what, $6 to $8 a dozen down here, honey?
Organic?
Yeah. $6 a dozen. They were really expensive when they first became like the hot thing. So yeah, I guess if you're going to do that comparison, then your own organic chickens are going to be way cheaper than what you can buy in the store, obviously. 10-pound birds. Okay. Yeah, the trolls will come. Yeah. Hey, Bear Paw Timber, I was just talking about you. Yeah, you know what? And I forget your first name, Bear Paw Timber. I know that we've talked. I know we've messaged each other. I know it's not Dave. You got Dave down the road from you, down there on the south. Down there south of you. So I was telling Chris, if you're not subscribed to Single Dad Homestead, Chris is he was a Marine at one time, active Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. How did I get that right? Once a Marine, always a Marine. Yeah. But he's no longer an active Marine. but he's a very active single dad on a homestead. Anyway, I was just talking about you, talking about, okay, Shane. So your first name's Shane. Okay. Okay, everybody just pause for 1 second. I'm writing it down. Because I'm not going to do the same mistake I made last week with Dave Reese from Imagine Acre Wood. Okay, so I got you down, Shane. I was just bragging about you, Shane, on the earlier part of this live stream about how you have that video, as far as I know, hasn't been taken down yet, where you harvest a chicken from start to finish. And that was a fantastic video. And I never done it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it, and it was just a great video. So, if any of you guys don't know, subscribe to Shane. There, he's an off-gridder up there in North Idaho, and he's got a great channel. He's got some good stuff. So, hey, Jeremy made it. Yeah, Semper Fi, right on, Chris. Yeah, Shane's a good dude. Yeah, Shane, go check out Chris, Single Dad Homestead. He just started his YouTube channel in January, and he's exploded. And we all know it's because of his cute daughter. So it's definitely not because of Chris; it's because of his daughter. So I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Jeremy. Right on. So, Jeremy, you'll have to go back and watch the review. You know, I was interviewing Olivia, so everybody got to know her. And well, hey, is Angela right there with you? If she's got any questions for Olivia, I'd love her to ask. But I would love, because we were talking about how I'm taking the city girl out to the country. Did you have any questions for Angela, honey? That's Jeremy. They're down there in well, they're southeast of us by 20 minutes. Yeah, Jeremy, we'd love to come by. We're coming up in July, and we'd love to come by and you know, bring you some lunch or something, and come visit with you for a little bit and get to know you guys and shake your hand and see your place. So, you had to go to southern North Idaho. That's funny. Mimsy's Garden. Oh, you are so nice to stay. Thank you. You were gonna take off and go to bed or something. She's still at work. Okay. That's a bummer. Well, we'll get to meet here at some point. Thanks, In the Woods with Wolfie. Thank you so much for stopping in. You're fantastic. Thanks for all the input. Definitely gonna go back and check out some more of your videos too. So, yeah, Ellen is fantastic. I showed my wife a couple of your videos, Chris, and she agreed. She is an absolute darling. She is precious, and that is all the purpose in the world that you need to build that place into a fantastic place. That's fantastic. So, yeah, thanks for coming in, Jeremy. This is fantastic. We had Russ in here. He was in here for a little bit. Oh my gosh. All right, I screwed up again then. Oh gosh. I did. I screwed up again. It wasn't Bear Paw Timber that harvested the chicken. Gosh dang it. Oh man, I feel like a complete nincompoop again. Alright, hold everything. Oh. So, okay, I'll figure this out right now here. Trying to remember who it was. Doggone it. No. It's I have to look.
Go to the people commenting. He commented. I think it was Bear Paw.
Oh, Chris, I am so sorry. It's not Bear Paw Timber. Oh my gosh, I feel like the biggest boob again. I did it again. See, I am so overwhelmed with so many of your guys' channels and all the videos everybody's putting out. I'm so trying to keep up. I feel like it's Survivology 101. I am sorry, guys. Survivology 101 is the Marine who harvests the chicken. And he's not in the live chat tonight, but we were talking today, and he was telling me about that. I know that Bear Paw Timber is up in North Idaho with us. He's up the road from Dave at Imagine Acre Wood. Survivology 101. So Survivology 101, his name is also Dave, and that's why I had him confused with Dave from Imagine Acre Wood. So these are all channels, Imagine Acre Wood and Survivology, and some of these guys. These are guys that I actually had subscribed to when I first started just watching all these different channels, and just got excited. So I'm still trying to sort some of these out. I'm sorry, Chris. Bear Paw, unless I don't know if Bear Paw is an ex-Marine or not, I don't know, but it's Survivology 101. So he's the one harvesting the chicken. All right, now we got that straight. So, all right, so now I'm afraid to scroll down to the bottom comments, because now I know you all gonna start poking, and I deserve it, I guess. So, yeah, Bear Paw's good. He's got a great channel. Yeah, Jeremy, tell your mother, tell your wife Happy Mother's Day as well. So, now, Jeremy, you have a son that's in the Army. And I don't know about your other 2 boys. You have 3 boys, it looks like. I think that's what I've gathered. So, I know you said you have 1 in the Army. So, no, it was Josh. I was calling him Josh. And Josh is Essential Mountain Homesteading. I got that squared away too. Essential Mountain Homesteading is the contractor who's building homes up there in Sandpoint. And poor Dave, Dave was so gracious last week. He said he didn't realize who I was talking to at first, but he was nice enough to not make fun of me on the live stream. So I'll embarrass myself and admit to my mistake. So anyway. Oh, Mimsy's Garden. That's funny that you said that about Two Family Homestead, Daryl and Sherry, I think is her name, Sheila, and then Pusa Studios. So yeah, I saw you on Tuesday in their Tuesday Tech Talk. Man, that was fantastic. Those guys are just amazing. And that Pusa Studios, gosh, what kind of obviously I have a brand new 4K webcam that I'm talking to you guys on, so that's why this stream is pretty clean and clear. But gosh, their studio is just, it's full on production. That's pretty neat. All right, so you got 2 still at home, and you got the eye rolling emoji. All right. Backyard Gardener, thank you for coming in. And Mimsy is still in the house. That was so nice. Thanks, Bear Paw. He'll forever be Josh to you. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, all right. So I've got to make sure I write that down. So Bear Paw Timber, I don't remember your first name. I got to write down Survivology. You said Shane. You're Shane from Bear Paw Timber. Okay. And I don't remember the guy from Survivology. That's the one I don't remember. I don't remember what his first name is. So, see, that's what happened. I got it so ingrained in my head that I had wrote down the wrong name with the channel, and I just could not get past the block. So I wrote your name next down to Bear Paw Timber. Now I can't get past that block. Okay, so I don't know what Survivology's name is. So you are Bear Paw Timber and you are Shane. Okay, so now I gotta go through and write all this stuff over again. And he'll forever be Josh. That's so funny. No, Josh Pilcher, I think, is his last name for Essential Mountain Homesteading. He's a neat guy. He actually did a couple of interviews. He went over and interviewed Heath from Red Poppy Ranch, and I was hating on him for doing that. I'm like, man, you're lucky. You're up there. That's what I'd like to do with all you North Idaho guys at some point. And Dave, I think Dave, you went. I think you're gone for the night, but Jeremy, you're still here. Hey, you know what? We'll videotape each other. We'll have a little meet and greet, and come see you, and we can just videotape each other, videotape the whole thing, and throw it up as content. People love that stuff when creators are getting together. I'm so jealous. all of those people back in the Midwest doing that meet and greet. That one great big get together they had this last weekend, where all Roots and Refuge was at, and gosh, that just and she and I don't know if any of you guys have watched that live stream from Roots and Refuge, and Jess is up there speaking to a bunch of the homesteaders there and the farmers, and she gets emotional and she has to stop, and Maya has to kind of take over and step in, and she's like, "You people are real. This is." They say the number one fear is public speaking. The number two fear is dying, and then somebody says the number three fear is the fear of dying in front of people. Yeah, well, I always get a little, I always get a little tongue tied a little bit, start to lose my focus, and and speaking in front of people, I get a little embarrassed. I can do it. I don't mind it, but I don't enjoy it. But so this is a little different. I know you guys are there, but it's just not the same when you're in front of people and you're meeting them, and so I can't wait to do that. We are coming up in July. We're gonna come and shake your hand, Jeremy. Bring you guys lunch. We'll come probably on a Saturday. If your wife works on a Saturday, I don't know, but we'll let you know way ahead of time. We're also gonna go see Dave Reese up there, and heck, Shane, yeah, Bear Paw, you're up the road from him, so maybe we'll swing by and check you out too. So. I got it, Jeremy. Look, and my pages are falling apart because I'm consulting this notepad all the time. So I know. At least Chris isn't yelling. Yes, survivology. It's one word. Survivology 101. And he's the ex-Marine harvesting the chicken. So I don't know how to put the link on there. Let me see if I can type that for you guys. Whoops, 101. 101. I typed that wrong. Survivology. I wonder if I could copy that link somehow. I don't know how to do that, guys. I don't know how to copy a link and then paste it on here while I'm doing a live stream. You guys have done it before, so I don't know how to do it.
I'm going to show you.
I don't know how to open up a different window and do that, though, without ruining these windows. So I don't know how to do a channel name in my own comment.
Minimize that one, the square right there. Minimize it.
No. I don't think I better do that. This is a live stream right now. I don't know. I don't think I better do that. It might interrupt the live stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Open another window.
Don't think I better.
Can't you just type it right there?
Well, I did. Survivology 101.
Would it be at or no? Because
no, it's just YouTube. So look up Survivology 101, guys, and you'll find that guy, and he has his chicken harvesting. Does she work late, Jeremy? Because we're looking at Saturday, which would be July 6th. Coming to see you guys at lunchtime or something. If she works close by, maybe we'll bring her lunch at work or something. Stop by. But so that we were looking at Saturday afternoon, swinging by and seeing you guys. Yeah, all right, Bear Paw, definitely. So Bear Paw Timber said they're gonna interview us for our North Idaho acceptance. So we have to pass his interview process before we're allowed to be permanently relocated. So Chris, you have actually Arms Family Homestead and Keeping It Dutch. Bear Paw, you mentioned that. You mentioned those two channels. We watch them as well too. They're fantastic. Oh, you're trying to get it to work too. Hey, there. Well, Chris, you're a moderator, so you can. Mimsy's Garden does it. There you go. That's Norseman. There. That's it right there. That's the link. So Mimsy, I don't know how to do that. You do it. Obviously, I have to have you as a moderator in here. So I got you and Chris and Jeremy as moderators to post a link. But see, that's his actual link to the guy that's Survivology 101. So
highlighted it, copied it, and then you paste it. But
Yeah, but
you
well,
don't know how to go to another window though.
yeah. So guys, if I was to minimize this window, it'd probably cut. I'm afraid it'd cut off this live stream. So I don't want to do that. You found it, but you can't get the. Oh, you can't get it to share. To share? Huh. Oh, Jeremy, you did it. Okay, so you guys have multiple. You can open up two windows like I can when I'm watching one of your live streams, and I can put stuff on there. But I don't know why it's not making the link. Yeah, there's the link right there. Wow, these programs. So you guys have all watched Daryl from Two Family Homestead. That guy's old. Man, that guy's a freaking computer geek. That guy's probably forgot more than I'll ever know about computers and these programs. And the guy is and he's just so natural about it. Joey at My Slice of Heavens, he stops in there. You got kicked offline. Okay, yeah, let me know, Jeremy. That'd be great. You don't have to guys lose a day off of work just for us, but if we know, we can plan around her schedule. If she's going to be off at a certain time, or maybe we can swing by before she goes to work. So I'll get in touch with you. We'll talk and find out what her schedule is, and then try and work around that. That way you don't have to lose that, because you guys need that income, I'm sure. So yeah, don't take a day off on account of us, but we'd love to see both of you guys, meet you both. So. Oh, okay, Mimsy. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff on my cell phone too, but I'm still a small fry in the big ocean of YouTubers, and a lot of you are way over 1,000 subscribers, so you guys can do lives from your phones and whatnot. I can't do that. But yeah, that's the link, guys. He is the Norseman. He's definitely a big mountain guy. Chris, you'll like him. He's a big beast of a man. So. Hey, Dave Northwater. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, we've got 12 people. I didn't even watch. We've got 12 people watching. Well, all of you that aren't making comments, give me a thumbs up or give me a wave. Let me know you're in here. Let me know who you are. Thanks for coming in, Dave Northwater. Yeah, the moderators definitely can put the links in, but for whatever reason, it's showing up on my feed as a link. And I've got the little, I put my cursor over it and it turns into a hand with the fingers. So I can click on those links that you guys are posting. I'm not going to do it right this second because I don't want to lose this window because this is my live stream window. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. You guys rock. Thank you for helping me out with that. I'm still learning. I'm a Nick Nimmons nerd and Roberto Blake nerd, and those guys are, teaching all of us how to do this all better. So. Yeah, that is correct. You cannot do. They just changed that. What, a month ago, Chris, or about 2 months ago? Well, Mimsy's Garden. I think I was number 100. So just so you know, I was one of the early ones. You cannot. Hey, Tim Fergal, thanks for coming in. Hey, thanks for all your comments, Tim. I appreciate that. Yeah, you cannot live stream from your phone anymore unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So, and some people would ask, well, so what? I'm in a live stream almost always from my desktop, but there was a few live streams. I think, Chris, you live streamed from your cell phone a couple times when you were out there showing us your greenhouse, I think. Browsers, I know Amy was in here for a few minutes. Browsers were live streaming on their property, but you got to have good internet connection, but a good cell phone coverage in order to do that, obviously. Otherwise, a live stream won't, turn out very well. But they were live streaming their whole property. That was fantastic. We got a tour of their property from their phone. That was awesome. So, yeah, but we're all growing. We're all growing together. Oh, Mimsy's Garden, you're right. You're right. I saw somebody say that on another stream last week that if you download the app Lab Streams, then you can still live stream from your phone. That's right. I saw that. Chris, you're funny. Yeah, Mimsy's Garden she is definitely one of our heroes. She is all over the place. She is a big participant and a part of this community. and she's got some great stuff. Russ, are you back? Did your wife finish putting the roof on for you? Is that why you're back? So you guys don't know Chris from Happy Colorado Homestead. He said he had to go because his wife was putting up the roof panels, and he had to go help her while he was on the live stream with us. So that's funny. So yeah, I'd love for our wives to get together when we get up there. Definitely going to happen. Yeah, your cell coverage isn't the greatest over there. That's right. I remember that. I remember you trying to live stream. It was real choppy. Hey, Fairy Tale Creations, thanks for coming in. That's right, Jeremy. That's an interesting nickname. Should we just start calling him BG for short instead of Russ? What's up? Hey, what's going on, BG? Bearded Gnome. That's funny. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. So my boxer is wanting some attention. Little poor thing. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys for everything tonight. No electricity, no computer, just a cell phone. Well, now that is interesting. So Shane, so you're just using your cell phone. So you're on your cell phone right now watching this. Okay. Well, I do the same thing. A lot of you guys probably wonder how I'm able to join your guys' live streams or whatnot during the week in the middle of the day. So most of you already know that I'm a crane operator, but there's a lot of hang time in a crane. You pick something up, go set it down, and then you're just sitting there waiting for the next load to be hooked up or whatnot. And so, I'll let it. I have a Bluetooth. I'll listen to you guys talking in my ear, while I'm working, and then when I can stop and I can actually watch or whatever, then I'll make a comment or something. And so sometimes, but the cell phone reception out there, you'd think, 300 feet high, I'd have fabulous service, but it sucks. That spot's like a big shadow for Verizon. Everybody on the job site had to get extra phones and go to AT&T just to get any reception there. So it's really bad. But yeah, the internet, that's just definitely been a big issue. So who was I talking to about that? Oh, I was talking to Russ. We were talking about internet. So Russ already knows all about the Weeboost system. He's got one installed, and he's got a MiFi or MoFi or something in his house, and he still is having trouble. So I was telling Russ that when we go up in July, I have some really low loss cable and a bigger antenna that I'm going to be putting on a 90-foot antenna tower. So I'm going to take tons of footage of that stuff, and that's going to be a big old thing. That's one of my highest viewed videos on my list, is the cell phone internet issue, because a lot of homesteaders, off-gridders, have horrible service. They're too far out. They're too far away from those cell phone antennas. And so Russ, you were saying that the local phone company has a phone line out there in your area, but it got struck by lightning or something. So you can't even get DSL or even just a regular phone line to your place. So it's definitely an issue, and people are really interested in how to get better cell phone service. So you guys stay tuned. I'm really hoping, as I've talked to a few guys, one guy that does cell phone antenna installation sites on the tops of mountains in Oregon. That's what he does for a living. So he told me what cable to get and what antenna to get and do this and this and this. And he goes, you'll be good. And then I had a guy out in, they live in, oh gosh, what state do they live in? But their cabin is in Tennessee, and he owns his own business, and he has to stay connected for his own business, and he couldn't do it right away. They have power to the place, but they had no cell service out there. And then he put the Weeboost in with a big antenna and some better cable, and he's got 5 bars of 4G, and he can stream Netflix and YouTube all day long, and he stays connected. So him and I have been chatting, and I think I got a pretty good system ready to go. So I'm I'm very hopeful that I'm going to get at least 4 bars of 4, if not 5 bars of 4G. So, hey, bestie heifer. That's so funny, Chris. That whole thing with the heifer thing. Um, that's great. So, um, all right. Yeah, yeah, having some good cable out to your place. So, Jeremy, I imagine you might know somebody that's got some rolls of cable. You could probably tap into somebody's box somewhere, 10 miles away, and you'd probably be able to get it there. But you'd have to have a few amps or something in line there to get that cable to not die out by the time it gets to your place, right? So, but you're close enough to something, I think, aren't you? 'Cause you guys are just off of, one of the highways there, so you guys should be pretty close. Um, you were, I think you're off grid. You're off grid. Um, yeah, the signal loss, it really goes down on the cell frequencies. You got the MoFi 4500. You're trying to get it to work. Yeah. So, did you just now recently watch that video, Russ? Because that's I was telling you to go watch that thing. That makes a big difference if you have a good antenna. So I've had two other what I would call professionals and experienced guys that have already been down this path, advising me on what to buy and how to put it up. So I'm really really hoping that this video that I put up is going to blow up. That you guys are going to share it. That you guys are going to do it and follow my lead on it. And hopefully you guys can learn just a pile of information on how to get better cell phone service at your sites. That has been my whole desire with this whole channel, is being able to put stuff out there that you guys can learn from and go and do it yourself. I mean, I am. That's what I started watching YouTube for in the first place, was to learn stuff. So, and this community that we have is that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for me. That's what it's going to be about for my wife too. When we go up to North Idaho, there's so many of us up there in the Pacific Northwest up there that we're not gonna have any problems. We're gonna move into the neighborhood and have friends already there, which we're gonna already have known and have relationships for a year. So anyway, so when I get that thing done and that thing installed, the minute I get back down here to California, I'm gonna put that video together and edit that, and I'm hoping it's gonna explode. So you have DSL and no power or water, huh? Walmart straight talk. You got full service up there, Netflix and YouTube. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You got full everything. So, oh, you're funny, Mimsy's Garden. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait till we get it, till the heifer till we all get to meet the heifer. I mean, we all obviously don't know who it is, and Chris, you don't have any idea who that is, who God's going to bring to you yet, but we know God's going to bring you that special heifer. So I love it. I think that is hilarious. And I hope you're running with that. Yeah, you have been. It's been a great source of conversation on your channel. I really think that you need to turn that into a kind of a money-making deal. Once you see all these channels that they're selling T-shirts and hats and sweatshirts and whatnot. I think you need to make something that's got that on there. So I swear that there was a I think I put it on your live chat. I don't think you saw it though, because there were so many people chatting on your live stream. But there's a verse in the Bible. He who meets, oh no, you did see it. He who finds a heifer finds a good thing, and that comes straight out of the NFE, which is the New Farmers Edition. So I was thinking about actually making a sticker for you and sending that to you. So anyway, no power, no water. You got DSL. That's funny. Mimsy's Garden, Anna. Yeah, you know what, Chris? I'm sorry, I've been so busy in watching people's live streams and trying to catch up on people's videos that I haven't seen that video yet that you put up about pulling the plug. So I can't wait to see that. Yeah, we have a well, and we're only 36 feet. It's static at 18 feet. It's fantastic. We have water just pouring out of our hill as well. But I can't wait to hear. You used to be on the grid, right, Chris? So how did you disconnect from the grid, and now you're off grid? What are the rules? What are the laws out there? Out here, obviously in California City, you can't just disconnect yourself. I guess you could. You still have to pay the service fee. They're not going to, you can they can turn off the power on you anytime, but you can't turn it off yourself, which is really stupid. So maybe you just stop paying the bill and they come and turn off your service and lock your panel or lock your thing. Say, hey, fine, right on, bring it, because I got my solar panels and a battery backup and everything else. So I wonder, that's an interesting question. But as far as I know, you can't just not be on grid here. So that's an interesting question. Yeah, Jeremy. So I imagine you guys are saving up money to dig a well, right? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Bear Paw. Yeah. 1960. Oh, that's a little out of date. Okay, so Mimsy's Garden already made you something about heifer. That's right. That was on. You did that on your live stream, I think. You put something on your live stream. Oh, you were connected to the gate power for the road. That's interesting. Oh my gosh, you're killing me, Scott. You are killing me. All right, so I have a friend here who's decided to pop in, and he's a Canadian. He's one of those crazy people that lived up there in the snow, and he would rather be up there in the snow. But he's a mountain guy like me. Rides touring adventure bikes and all that good stuff. Scott's a super good dude. He is a foreman in construction. Wants me to come up and run a crane for him, but I'm not going to go and live in Portland and where all the rain and all the crazy people are, where they're, Antifa riots and stuff. And now Scott Hall's a great dude. I lived with a family for 5 or 6 years while I was going to school, and when Olivia and I first got married, we lived with them. Scott Howell's on, and we lived with this family. With their oldest daughter, Sarah, is who Scott married. So that's how Scott knows me. Give you guys a little background. But he knows enough about me to he could make me look really bad or really good here, right, Scott? He's a good dude, a site superintendent dude. Yeah, he's a smart guy. I love it. Mimsy, you are so precious for staying on. Thank you so much. That is so nice of you. So Scott, I'm gonna go check. Chris, I'm gonna go check out your video about your being off about cutting the cord and being off grid. I can't wait to see that. That's exciting. So I know you're doing solar, I guess, right? So, yeah. All right, Jeremy, you're gonna do a well at some point. So. That's the nice, beautiful thing about where we're at there in North Idaho, that there's water super shallow. And down, well, I don't say down where you're at, because you're not down in a valley anywhere, but you're not, I don't know if you're as high as we are. Our elevation where we're at is about 2,400 feet, but we're kind of in a valley where there's a watershed that kind of pours through, so we got water just flowing everywhere where we're at. So that's the nice thing about North Idaho, is you don't usually have to go very deep to get water up there. So, okay. Hydro. Okay. Bear Paw Timber. Big Antifa uprising there in North Idaho. Not. That's right. That's right. That's right, because there are real men that live in Idaho. And I'm not joking. There are serious men that live in Idaho, and they ain't putting up with that. There's a lot of. Okay, I'm just not going to go down that path. Scott is my friend, and we've had lots of discussions about politics, and we're not going to talk politics. I had that one iron worker on here a couple weeks ago, and he was surprisingly, as an iron worker, usually they're pretty liberal, but he was pushing the buttons trying to get me to start talking politics. But we're talking about Homestead and being off grid. Chris, holy crap, and Chris is gonna yell squirrel in a second here if you guys try and get me distracted. Solar and wind and hydro. Okay, so yeah, Jeremy, I know, right? Yeah, we've talked about that. I think you've mentioned that before, that you don't have anything flowing on your property. That's too bad. But if you can get some good solar going and throw up that wind power is really coming along, man. There's some pretty neat stuff. So Jeremy, I don't know if you're subscribed to Chris at Single Dad Homestead, but gosh, all I want to do is go look for whatever you put up, Chris. Yeah, you have. That's a lot of creek. So, Chris, I don't know if you've watched my video. I put up a video about how to calculate how much flow and how much head. And I show you how to do it. We do it on my stream at our property. So I have, at the low point, like 450 gallons per minute, but I only have about 10 to 14 foot of drop. So, simply stated, I'm sure you already know this. The water falling, that's power. As gravity pulls it down, you're converting that water into pressure, which turns into power, right? So if you have 160 foot of creek, yeah, my neighbor is telling me about some of the windstorms that we've been getting up there in North Idaho. Pretty amazing. Thank you, Russ. Yeah, definitely. You have 160 foot of creek, Chris. So I imagine, as resourceful as you are and as on top of all this stuff as you are, you're already looking into that. So power spout, you mean these guys? That's right. Yeah, power spout. These guys are in Boise. Yeah, I've already got a site map for my place. Yep. So you've been looking at power spout. So power spout is sold by a couple different places. We have. I'm trying to think of who this is. Is this the guy in Oregon? I'm trying to remember. No. Okay. So power spout is sold by. Yeah, they have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I have. I've looked at that. At that system. So you have a guy down in Mississippi, and the guy's name is, I'll tell you, he's down by you, Chris. Well, he's not right next to you, but oh goodness gracious, what's the name of this guy? Spencer Langston. Spencer Langston is a guy that sells that stuff out there near where you're at. And then we have Aurora Power, or Aurora Power Systems, that are located in Boise. And then up in North Idaho, we have Backwoods Solar. They also sell, I think they sell the power spout system as well. If not them, then another system. But these companies are popping up all over the place. So, okay, so these guys are out of New Zealand. I know I had looked at it. So I think these companies I'm talking about, they import them from New Zealand, and they're designed. Yeah. So I had talked to Aurora Power in Boise, and they are the ones that sent me this information on the power spout. Langston's Alternative Power. Let me type that in for you guys too. Look him up on YouTube. He's out there by you, Chris. Langston's Alternative Power. And he has a YouTube channel. Just look up Langston's Alternative Power. Okay. I'll send you that information, Chris, on Langston's. Yeah, exactly. Langston's got a system, and Boise also. I think they're talking about the low head system from Power Spout as well. And what I liked about the Power Spout system is the way they designed it. Is they just said if you have a low head system, you build a flume, and then you make the flume a little wide so it kind of makes a tank on top, and that way you can get kind of a little bit of a vortex going, and then 10 to 15 foot of drop. And they're telling me I can probably get like 450 to 600 watts continuous power. That's insane. 24/7. If I could get 500 watts, 600 watts continuous power, 24/7 would be I would be so happy. I can't even express how awesome that would be. So I'm dying to see. So have you calculated your flow or your drop on your property, Chris, yet? That would be cool. Okay, so Mims, you're in Mississippi. Yeah, Chris is Tennessee, right? I'll send you that email. I'll send you the link. Yep, Mimsy, you are awesome. You're not my moderator. You're like my assistant. Fantastic. See, you're all just typing away. Langston's Alternative Power Link. There it is. Yep, Spencer Langston. He is awesome. And that guy, he's a Christian, and he's an honorable guy, and he's got great videos. He's putting those things on people's ponds that have natural springs that keep the ponds full. And I'm thinking about doing that, is building a pond so I have a constant flow. So anyway, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Mimsy, for that. That is fantastic. Yeah. I talked to the guys at Aurora Power, and they were telling me that when they sell you the kit, they also sell you. It wasn't very much. I think it was like $100, and it was like an extra rebuild kit because it takes so long to get it from New Zealand, and there's a downtime to getting something. So they highly recommend that you buy the rebuild kit in addition to it, and it gives you some new seals. I'm trying to remember the other things that he included in that kit, but he said those were some of the things that were going to wear out over time, and it was better to have one on hand. It sounds like you probably talked to them. I don't know if you've talked to Aurora in Boise, or have you gone directly to the guys to Power Spout in New Zealand. But if you want, I'll send you the Langston's link, or you can find him on YouTube like Mimsy just gave to you, and he's got his links to his website and everything right there on his YouTube channel. But we also have Aurora Powers in Boise. They're awesome. So I don't remember it being $250 though. I thought it was only like $100. But anyway, yeah. That's what I'm looking at too, Chris. Because it says up to 1,200 kilo. Wait a minute. Okay, so 1,000-watt system. Yeah, I think they're listing. They have one in there that's I think it's a 1,200. 1.2 I thought is what it was rated at. Well, anyway, I had looked at their different systems that they had for sale, and I thought it was rated at 1.2, but that's the max. And so if you have more flow and more head than that, then they're gonna have you not do the low head system. That's what I'm gonna have to do because I'll never have any more head than that. I'm gonna talk to some of my neighbors that has the property adjacent to mine, and I'm gonna ask. We have beavers that are making dams up there, and my neighbor just told me that the beavers just built up this big dam and water's flowing up and around into the U.S. Forest Service land that's besides my property, and then flowing down onto my property through the little channels that the beavers make. So I've got ponds off my property that the beavers have made, and if I can just put an intake in there with a screen, and on my neighbor's property go up 50 to 100 feet, I could probably get 20 foot of drop, and that would put me up at probably 1,000 watts, 1 kilowatt. So that would max out that system, but that's the most I'm ever going to use. So I'm looking I can't wait to. Thank you, Mimsy. You got it up there. Yep, that's the website, langstonsalternativepower.com. Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe the seal kit he was telling me was just $100, and then the rebuild was, and that came with probably the bearings and some other things too. So, okay, I can't wait to go see what you put up. If you've done a video on calculating all that stuff, and I haven't, I don't think I've seen a video of yours that shows your creek, 168 foot of creek. And is there fish in there? Is it big enough that you have fish? As I have fish on mine. I got a little video where we fished. We caught some brookies in the middle of winter this last December. It was cool. My son took his girlfriend up there. She'd never caught fish out of a stream before, and she was pulling them out from underneath the ice. It was fun. Yeah, I know, Bear Paw. Yeah, I know. It's funny you said that. We went to a restaurant the other a couple weeks back, and the waiters and waitresses are not supposed to just put straws on the table anymore. You're supposed to ask for them, and they're not even supposed to offer them to you. Well, the one waitress, she pulled some straws out, and I'm like, hey, we didn't ask for straws. I was totally giving her a hard time. She's like, yeah, but I overheard your wife saying something about where's the straws at, and so I'm like, oh, dang it. But yeah, it's annoying. It's beyond annoying. Yeah, we gotta love what our wonderful the ex mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom, who's now our wonderful mayor. He makes Brown flush it down. Makes him look like a moderate or a conservative, and that guy's such a liberal. He put a moratorium on all of the death penalty cases. So all the families that have been waiting for years and years and years for justice for their loved ones, they're screaming bloody murder because he did that. They're demanding that he reinstate the death penalty and continue everything. So, all right, that's it for politics. No more Bear Paw. It's one of the only native trout streams left. Okay, so you haven't showed it yet, and you're going to. I can't wait to see it. I grew up in Oregon fishing streams. That's my first love. Dave up there at Imagineacre Woods, he's a big trout stream fisherman, and that's what I love to do, man. So I can't wait to see that. I will watch that. I'll probably watch it over again. If you're catching fish out of your stream and showing that, I just, down here in the concrete jungle, man, it's, I have found a place locally, it's about an hour and a half away, that we've done some trout fishing. That was the place I was telling you guys about with all the rattlesnakes. And it's hard to go back there because of all the snakes, but I'm sorry, Mimsy. You know what? I let my better half, she's going to bed, and I should be doing the same thing, but you guys are all awesome and wonderful. You know what? Fairy Tale Creations, that's cute because we were talking about kids and whatnot, and talking to some friends at church, and they were telling us about their grandkids. My sister-in-law, their first grandkid, her son is in, I think it's Kansas, and within her first grandbaby, she flew within 48 hours. She was there holding that baby. I can't wait for grandkids. I can wait. I don't want my kids having them, God forbid, out of wedlock or unplanned or whatnot. But if it happens, it happens. But I don't think it will. So when it does, we hope it happens in the best way possible. We will be just excited as heck to have grandkids. So that's another reason why I want to get up to Idaho as fast as possible, because we've only got, I figure, maybe 5 or 6 years before my daughter will be a nurse next year, and she is a very smart, highly attractive young lady, and too young for you, Chris. Sorry. She'll probably get hooked up, and I imagine she's not gonna. She'll want to start working for a few years, but I imagine she'll probably. I'm thinking 5-6 years we'll have grandkids coming. So we want to get that place going. I want to take my grandkids fishing. I want to hold their hand and walk them down to the creek, and obviously when they're babies and they're first born, you're not gonna do that, but So yeah, sorry about all the boy talk, guys. That's what happens. That the grandkids, yes, we can't wait for grandkids. But I'm only 50, so we have a few years. Um, so Mimsy's Garden. I'm assuming your husband's name is Terry. So I'm gonna write that down. I have to. So Mimsy, I don't know if you've seen this. Oh, you saw it at the beginning. I got my cheat sheet here, so I'm writing everybody's name down. So Mimsy's Garden, are you? I know, Jeremy. I told her that. I told her, Mimsy, were you? You were Anna. You had Mimsy's Garden dash Anna, right? And you just changed your name to just Mimsy's Garden, or was that somebody else? I'm trying to remember who that was. Okay, well I got Terry down. So what is your name, Mimsy's Garden? Is it Anna? Let me know, and I'm gonna write it down. So. Yeah, a lot of nursing jobs up there. There's a lot of nursing jobs everywhere, but I've taken both my kids camping and fishing and hiking and quad and motorcycle riding. So my daughter's definitely an outdoors girl, but for whatever reason, it is the notepad. You're right, and it's Joey's fault. I'm surprised Joey from My Slice of Heaven isn't in here poking fun. It's his fault because he talked about his wife. And he blamed it on his wife and said his wife has the notepad. I'm not sure if I believe that. So he does his channel shout out. I know he's reading from his notepad. So hopefully Joey will go back. If you come back and see this, Joey, yeah, I know your secrets. You know what, Chris? You're right. Now thinking back, we had our kids that were newborns. We had them camping in tents. You're right. I 30 seconds of birth. Yeah. We had our kids within the first few months. We had them. We took them camping in a tent, and we did just fine. Kids are very hardy creatures. They're a lot hardier than we all believe, right? But as far as learning how to hold a fishing pole and fishing, though, I got to be at least 2 or 3 years old. You got to be able to stand up and hold a pole, right? So, okay, that's right, Mimsy, you did. And it was Anna. So okay, so Terry and Anna, the dreaded wheel of crucifixion. That is so funny. I was watching that same live stream with you, man. They talked about a ton of stuff, and they were going and critiquing people's channels, and they were nice about it, though. It's funny. All you guys, if you guys weren't on part of Two Family Homestead, did a dual live stream Tuesday Tech Talk this last week, because every Tuesday Two Family Homestead does their Tech Talk, and they have their little wheel and they spin it, and they will profile a channel. And if you want to be part of their profile on Tuesday Tech Talk, you go sign up on their website, and if they'll spin the wheel, and if they land on the name of your channel, then they will profile your channel, and they will go through and they'll critique it and tell you, hey, we like this, we like that, we don't like this, we don't like that, do this. And so Mimsy, this last week, they're like, hey, you need to lose the hyphen and lose the extra name. Just shorten that up to Mimsy's Garden. And these are all YouTube. These are all YouTube secrets and stuff. And so for mine was by accident. I was just looking for names, and the place where we're at is back in a little valley, and it's hidden. And I didn't intentionally pick out Hidden Valley, like Hidden Valley Ranch, the dressing, but somebody said that on a live stream. They made a comment like Hidden Valley Ranch. I'm like, oh. So people have been able to remember the name Hidden Valley Homestead pretty easily, I think. And so they recognize that name, and it's easy to remember because everybody remembers, Wishbone Dressing, Hidden Valley Ranch, right? So to me, that one's not long. Nobody's critiqued it so far, and nobody has said anything bad about it. But it's interesting, some of these, you'll see some of the names on these channels, and it's like, holy smokes, there's like 6 or 7 words in there, and you think, good grief, how can you even remember that? But I never thought yours was that bad, Mimsy. Mimsy's Garden Anna. Okay, I mean, I remembered it, but they said to shorten it. So that's so funny. The two family wheel crucifixion. That is great. You're hilarious. Yeah. Oh, that's a great story, Chris. That is just a great story. Yeah, I know you're joking, Mimsy. That's yeah, they are very nice. They are neat people. Um, I need to watch more of their videos of on their channel and see more of what they're about. I'm just used to their Tuesday Tech Talk, and I'm thinking that they're YouTube, kind of geeks, but they're homesteaders, right? So, um, okay, Chris. Yeah. Um, so sometimes the intent of a message doesn't quite come through when you type it. So I'm sensing some humor there. You were introducing your daughter to who you were as her father, and take her outside, and this is who I am, as opposed to you weren't her real dad, right? Yeah, no, you're her real dad. All right, I think I get it. Sometimes sometimes the humor doesn't quite come all the way through. So anyway, um, all right. Well, Chris, I'm going to send you that link. So you already got the link for Langston's Alternative Power. I'm going to send you the link for Aurora Power. I think I've even got it right here on my phone. I'm going to check that out really quick here. I have it bookmarked. Langston's Alternative Power. There's a company called Canyon Hydro, Turbulent, Sundance Power Systems. Sundance Power Systems was a great place I talked to as well. They're in North Carolina, so you got Sundance Power Systems. Scott Hydroelectric. Let's see here. Now, Scott Hydroelectric, he's on YouTube as well, and he has another system you might want to take a look at. So I'm going to type that in right now. That's scotthydroelectric.com, and that's another one you can take a look at, Chris. scotthydroelectric.com. Go check that guy out, Chris. He's got a system that he sells. It's a low head system as well, and he's a really nice guy. He's a homesteader or a farmer, and he's making them. He's building them on his farm. Neat guy. If you call the guy, you'll end up talking to his wife at first. Let's see, Canyon Hydro. So Canyon Hydro is in Washington, and I'm trying to think of who they're selling. Gosh, where is the Aurora Power? Aurora, here we go, aurorapower.net. And these guys are in Boise, and they also have a low head system as well. So let me put that link up there for you guys, or the so they're in Idaho. They're in Boise. Aurora Power and Design. So this is aurorapower.net. Check these guys out, Chris. It can't hurt to talk to more people. Aurora. Aurora. Doggone it. So I don't know why it's aurorapower.net. I'm on their website, and it's that's what it says. It's aurorapower.net. So, and they're in Boise, Idaho. So these guys they do custom stuff for people, and yeah. Okay, so this is the guy. These are the guys I was talking about, Chris. They sell the Power Spout hydro turbine. They're a local distributor for the Aurora Power Spout, and then because they have to buy it from down under, it takes 30 days for it to get here, and that's why they were suggesting that you buy the rebuild kit to have it ready to go. So you've already looked into that one. That looks like a really good system, I think too. But they've got everything. They've got wind, everything, and they're in Boise. So I don't know if you have a local distributor close to you that sells that particular system. I don't know if Langston's does that system as well, but he custom designs stuff. And if you call and talk to Spencer Langston, he's an engineer, and that guy will start rattling numbers off to you. It'll make your head spin. But he is super good. So yeah, so there's Scotty Hydroelectric, AuroraPower.net, and those guys are. Yeah, Two Family Thursday lives. Yeah, well, I was there on Thursday as well with you, Mimsy, and we were watching. They had Pusa Studios as their guest, and that was fantastic. And I don't even remember their names from Pusa Studios, but she actually, I was making some comments, and she actually went to my channel and gave me a thumbs up and said, "Hey, you got some great thumbnails on my." I'm like, "Wow, I got Pusa Studios to notice me." I was like, I was amazed, but I had to type like 500. I had to overwhelm the chat just so they would notice me. Anyway, yeah, Two Family Homestead is great. So, oh, our Father the Lord, Amen. Oh, you're doing it in the dark. Oh, goodness gracious. So, God said, "That's right, Dave." God said, "Let there be light" for a reason. That's funny. Built a Homer bucket hydro system. Okay, I'll check that out. All right, Bear Paw, thanks for coming in, man. You are awesome. You rock. I cannot wait to meet you someday and shake your hand. So thank you so much for coming in. And so I'm gonna check that out too, Chris. So I'm gonna write a note to myself really quick. So well, I already sent you some links there, Chris. But I'll send you. So did you get all the links, Chris, for those hydro links, or do you still want me to email them to you? So let me know if you want me to email you those links. I'll send you all those emails. I've got 6 different sites on my phone that I have bookmarked, and I can send you all those links. So the Power Spout, like I said, is local dealers up right there in Boise. Langston's Alternative Power also might be a local distributor for those guys too. So anyway, thank you, Bear Paw, for coming in. And gosh, what time is it? It's 8:45. Oh, it's not too bad. It's 8:45. It's 8:45 my time. So I'm up at 4:30. So that's not too bad. If I'm in bed by 9:30, I'm good. So it's not one of your videos. Okay. Build a Homer bucket hydro system. Okay, I'm writing that down. All right, so I'm gonna go check that out too. I started this whole hydro journey looking at water wheels. One of the guys I've subscribed to for a long time is called Joe Malovich. Joe Malovich, and that's the name of his YouTube channel. That's his name, and he built a water wheel off a little seasonal stream on his property, and now I guess they've moved to a bigger place with a spring. And he's going to do the same thing, but on a little bigger scale this time. So he built a water wheel, and he did a little weir, and that's his videos are what started me down this whole road. And then it just blew up from there. And I started looking at all these different websites, and I started finding all these different people and these different companies and stuff. So, but I'll look at another video all day long. Anything about hydro is fantastic. It's free power. So, oh, so you're only so you're 2 hours difference, Mimsy. That's not too bad. The moose are back, man. You know, my neighbor says that we have a mama moose with a baby or two down in our creek bottom, down in our, because all of us have property that go across the creek, and the creek goes to our properties. and she loves to stay down there in the alders and the brush and stuff like that. So we've been up there 4 times, and we haven't seen haven't seen her yet. But she says that she's there, so I can't wait to see her. So you've already watched Joe Malovich. That's cool, Chris. Yeah, that guy's pretty cool. Almost as long-winded as me. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah, I can't wait to have some moose meat sometime. I don't know. Hey, Jeremy, know of any places where you can buy moose meat? I know a couple places you can buy elk meat ready to go, but I don't know about moose meat. I think because it's so hard, so rare to kill them. Huh. So you got to keep your alfalfa and your hay. You got to keep that stuff locked up tight. Moose-proof barn or fencing. Yeah. Interesting. So Mimsy, you probably answered my question. So you got all those links, Chris. Mimsy, did you tell me your first? It's Anna, right? You probably already told me yes, and I missed it. Huh. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know, Jeremy. Wild game restaurants. I'll have to look. I'll have to look for that. So when we get up there, we'll check it out. Um, hey, High Country Fly Life. Hey, thanks for stopping in, man. Okay, you are Anna. All right, I wrote it down. Terry and Anna. Okay, good. All right, the list. You're on it, right there. So I won't forget that. I hope. Poor between Jeremy and Dave and Bear Paw and Survivology tonight. Good grief! It's been a rough couple of weeks. I am thoroughly just embarrassed. So anyway, you guys are very gracious and graceful, and Chris has been sparing me the distracting squirrel comments tonight. So he's been very helpful. So thank you for that. Well, guys, yeah, High Country Fly Life. These are some great homesteading channels, some great people here. I've spent a lot of time talking with these guys, comments and whatnot. Good, solid, good salt of the earth, good people here. So, go check out some of these channels. Single Dad Homestead's a fantastic ex-Marine, does a lot of gun safety, good stuff. Something I don't know. Have any of you guys ever thought about doing a channel shout out on your channel, doing a video with just shouting out to other channels? I know Joey at My Slice of Heaven, he does that. He does a Monday night shout out, and he'll feature like 4 channels that subscribe to him and that he subscribes to, and he talks about them. So I like to do that too. So Russ, I bet your Russ from Happy Colorado isn't here. I bet he's already gone to bed. But he's another good guy too. So, yeah, some of these guys are right on. Yeah, thank you, High Country Fly Life. I think I've looked at a couple of your videos, and I'll definitely go check out some more and try and get caught up on your stuff. And so yeah, it seems like the best way to meet good people on these channels and the network is to just start talking and making friends with some of these channels, and you get to know who they know and whatnot. So where are you located at, High Country Fly Life? Jeremy, yeah, I do too. I get excited too. I get excited when one of the big dogs. I don't know. I think I said last week when Keeping It Dutch, when he visited my channel and actually left some comments on my channel. I thought I'd won the lottery because the big one of the big dogs actually visited my channel. Like that's really cool. I got his attention one time. I made a nice comment about something he was doing, and I showed him my appreciation for what he does, and he made the effort and came over. So, and he's got how many subscribers does Keeping It Dutch have? 500,000 or something. I mean, he's got a lot. So anyway, yes, amen, Fairy Tale Creations. That's right. These are my people. That's right. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. So if any of you guys are kind of somewhat new to this thing, just don't use the words, don't type in sub or substitute, subscribe and all that kind of stuff. You're in New Zealand. Okay, okay, that's right. All right, now I remember. I've watched a couple of your videos. So New Zealand, my cousins, they all grew up down there. My aunt and uncle lived down there for many years. Matter of fact, the guy that got me into cranes um, I don't know if he's still doing it. He might be retired by now, but the guy that got me into tower cranes specifically, Selwyn Rabbits. So is Rabbits a New Zealand, a Kiwi last name or what? Selwyn Rabbits, that guy was so cool, one of the smartest guys I ever know. He actually moved back to New Zealand probably 10 years ago and running cranes and stuff down there. But my cousin, both my two cousins married Kiwis down there and have kids, and they've just loved the life down there, just loving it. So Dutch has 110,000. Okay, he just hit 100,000. Okay, yeah, he's a big dog. Not like Wrangler Star with 1.2 million. Well, YouTube keeps purging Wranglers. He keeps purging Cody's ranks. He'll lose 100,000 and then gain another 100,000. I mean, that blows my mind. Yeah, we miss them. I wish they were stateside. Those were my favorite cousins. But hey, they were living. They've been living a wonderful life down there with you guys, you Kiwis down there. So, high country. What time is it right now? Because right now I'm in California, and it is 10 to 9 p.m. here. One of the guys in here right now is Chris from Single Family Homestead, and he stays up all night long on live streams, and he'll do a 5-hour marathon. I've never seen that long, but he's up late. I don't know how he does it, because I'm sure the sun's coming up early and he's waking up. He's got farm animals, and he's got a little precious daughter there that he's up early. So I don't know how much sleep he gets, but I guess an ex-Marine, you can live on 2 hours of sleep and be just fine, right? So you know what, high country fly life, I would tell you. Subscribe to one of the other guys that was in the chat. If you go back and scroll back in some of the comments in here, and go look at Imagine Acre Wood. That's Dave, and he loves to fly fish as well. So if you hook up to his channel and you guys hook each other up, if you don't already subscribe to him, he would love to see your channel. Matter of fact, High Life, High Country. I'm calling you High Life. High Country Fly Life. One of my videos. It says I love Idaho. Go check out that channel. There's a store in North Idaho that has it's a store within a store, and the center of the store is all fly fishing, and the video sucks. I'm gonna redo it for everybody so you guys can get a really good clear view with my new camera that I got, and check it out. It's a great store. So yeah, I don't know if any of you guys saw the video I posted earlier today. I got Father's Day came early. She gave me a new camera, a Canon, the M50, the one that everybody talks about, the digital thing with the reversible screen and everything. And so everything that I'm going to be doing now is going to be on that. It's a 4K camera. It's fantastic, and it's very reasonably priced. EOS Canon M50. So go check out that thing. I just kind of do a quick little review on it, but it's already been reviewed a million times to death. Cody on Wrangler Star is the one that gave the best review of that camera and said, if you're a creator, get this camera. It's small, it's lightweight, it does everything that you need it to do, and it's got a wide, and it's got a somewhat telephoto, a little bit of a zoom lens on it. It's just the best all-around camera that you could possibly need. So anyway, yeah, go check out it is Imagine Acre Wood, and his name is Dave. His name is David. So if you go check out his channel, I think he's got some. I think he might have a fly fishing thing here and there, but he'll definitely want to know. Leave him a comment on one of his videos and tell him who you are, because I know you've got a lot of fly fishing stuff on your on your channel. So I've seen a few of your videos there. That's good stuff up there. So anyway, Were you going to tell me what time it was over there in New Zealand right now? Hey, Soggy Bottom, you're still here. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Um, yeah, Chris, I don't know if how much you can get that for on Amazon. I didn't look because they give it to me as a gift. And actually, I hadn't really told them what camera exactly I was looking at, but I had been reviewing them and looking at them, and they actually went and bought me a Sony. They went to Best Buy and bought a Sony, and it was actually a way nicer, more expensive camera. But none of the Sonys have the reversible screen where you can flip it. Oh, you know what? I'll show it to you guys. Duh. So, you know what? Let me turn that light up a little bit, guys. There, that's not too bad. Okay, so here's the back of the camera, and you can flip the screen. You can flip it out so that when you're looking at the camera, you can see yourself in the video screen. And then of course this thing turns around so that if you want to like videotape yourself, you know, you can see the screen right here, or you can flip it around and then close it, and you can see the screen on the back. But this screen flips out so you can face it forward. That way you can see what you're doing. You can see where you're at in the frame and stuff. It's got a great big memory card down here. It's got a great big battery. It's got this. It's got a telephoto and a wide-angle lens. And then they got me the microphone. That was a separate kit. It came with the microphone, and it came with the wind fuzz, or whatever you call this thing on there. And this thing is just set up. It's set up for video. And it's super easy to use. I just leave it on the. So far, I've just barely started using it. But I would highly recommend this camera for the price, Chris. You can't go wrong. I mean, normal retail on it is $5.99 at Best Buy. So if you can find it on sale, or you can find a good used one somewhere, or I haven't seen any of these used on Craigslist, honestly, because I was looking on Craigslist and Let Go and stuff too, and I didn't see any of those cameras. But I mean, so Sony's are, you know, $1,000, $1,500, but none of the screens flip around, and everything is going to mirrorless. So most of your cameras have a mirror. Just a quick little lesson here on what I learned on this camera. So the image goes into the lens, and it'll hit a mirror, and it'll hit a digital processor in this camera, and then what comes out the viewfinder right here is a digital picture. So all of your older cameras, it was a double mirror. It would go in, hit a mirror, hit another mirror, and it would come out the viewfinder. Okay. All the Sonys are going no mirrors, mirrorless, and it's all strictly digital. So this camera is super clear. It's super clean. Nice try. Yeah, it was $600, and that included that lens. It didn't include the microphone or anything like that, but it included the lens, and then it had a carrying strap, and it had the battery, of course. But yeah, it was $600, and it came with that special lens. Now, you do have to buy a special lens if you're going to go a telephoto lens, a zoom or a wide angle or whatever. You have to get a special lens because this is a single mirror camera. But for the price, and then they go up in price from there. The next one up was $1,000, and they go up to $3,000 for the big Hoosier Daddy one. So it's gets really way out of whack. So that's why this one was rated so high, because the price was so great. So yeah, that's the guy. High Country Fly Life. That's the guy. Yeah, Imaginator Wood. Yeah, Dave Reese is Dave is a really nice guy. So and he'll leave a comment and tell him I sent you over there, and he'll subscribe to you because he loves fly fishing. So I know he would absolutely love and die to see that stuff. So so I know I missed a comment here while I was selling you that camera. I missed a comment. Should I be a camera salesman, Jeremy, or what? So 3:55 p.m. Oh, on a Monday. It's already Monday over there, right? I know, right, Mimsy? Yeah, it was a total surprise. We had We have the Hero 5, or no, this is the Go. This is a 4, and or is this the 5? No, this is the 5. So we had a 4 a long time ago, and then we finally stepped up. And I got this for my son for Christmas a couple years ago. It's a 5. Now they're up to a Hero 7, but they're so expensive. So the only thing we were using was I have a Galaxy S9 Plus, and this thing has been doing great. But if you guys go watch the video I just posted today, I'm actually showcasing that camera today, and you can see the problems that I have with this. I don't know how many of you guys are using your smartphones with doing your videos, but they have the autofocus feature, and I turned it off in the settings, and then when I hit record, I touch the screen and a little AF will pop up, and I hit that button, and it's supposed to turn off autofocus, but it still will do a little bit of autofocusing, and it's really frustrating. Trying to do a video, and so I have to. You guys see how much I move when I'm talking, and I'm trying to be still, but nobody wants to see somebody just sitting there. People want to see animated. That's just me. So it's constantly moving and going in and out of focus, and it gets really frustrating. That camera took care of that problem. So no more autofocus problems, no more fuzzy pictures and stuff. So anyway, Jeremy, geez, I know. I was just talking about. Okay, it's Monday here. Well, yeah, it's because you're up past midnight every night, Chris. You're usually into the next day talking to everybody on their live stream. So yeah, it's Monday over there in New Zealand. That's cool. Well, 9 p.m. and Chris, you are 3 hours different from me. You're in Tennessee, so it just turned into Monday there. So yeah, Jeremy, it's Monday in Tennessee. So Monday early morning. Well, New Zealand is 4 p.m. Monday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon. So that's why High Country, he's already off work. He's, hopefully he's stopping at the local stream on the way home and catching some fish. So anyway, yeah, talk about that affiliate link. Hey, Chris, so you're already at how many subscribers are you at now? Last I looked, you were at 16 and almost 1,700. You got to be close to 18. Yep, 1203. Yeah, Chris is an East Coaster. He's the bomb. That's why I love Chris. He stays up for all of us. I mean, he is awesome. Mimsy's Garden, where are you at? You're in Mississippi, so you're back there too. So it's late for you. Are you 12 o'clock, Mimsy? And you're still with us. Oh, you are awesome. Okay, Chris, so you've almost got your 4,000 watch hours, if not already there by now, because you were really close this last week. And you're already at 1,700 subscribers, if not more. So what are you doing about affiliates and all that kind of stuff? I know as soon as you hit that 4,000 hours, you're going to hit that monetize button with YouTube, and I hope and pray that they put you up right away, because you've just done amazing. The growth on your channel is just explosive, and doing a lot of live streams I'm sure helps too. But so you're at 1721. That's awesome. Okay, so you're an hour, so you're a little bit further west than Chris. Okay. And you're in Arkansas. Wow, you guys, thanks for coming in. Holy smokes. 65 hours. Okay. Gosh, I wish I could just donate some hours to you, Chris. I'd die to see you. I can't wait to see you break that 4,000 hours. But gosh, it's only been 3 months, so it's coming up really quick, really soon. So every live stream that I see, I have my notifications on. I will, if I can't watch it, I'll listen. If I can't even listen, I'll let it play, just to help you with that time watch. So I would like to hear what you're going to do about affiliate marketing and all that kind of stuff, because I mean, it's obviously you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket with YouTube. I know I got to do the same thing. I'm close to 500 subscribers, which is it blows my mind. I don't know how, but I guess I suckered a bunch of you to watch at some point. Oh, again, my pretty wife. I know that's why you come and watch, because you're hoping that Olivia comes in, Chris. I get it. I understand, and I don't blame you. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting, Chris. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Chris. Just turn your phone on live stream, hook up your wall charger to your phone, hit live stream, and we'll all turn on the live stream and join in, and we'll all just go to bed. That'll bump you over. That'll bump you over in one night, right? Get like an 8-hour live stream. How cool would that be? That's so cool. That's a good idea, Mimsy. You are a great participant, Mimsy. I love it. Anna, I'm gonna start calling you Anna. So somebody that's really good with first names is Joey over there at My Slice of Heavens. He remembers everybody's first name. That guy's awesome. So very cool. All right. Well, what are you doing about not monetization, affiliate marketing? Are you going to be doing that? Are you going to be doing? I'm sure you'll be doing T-shirts and all that stuff with your heifer stuff coming up. Going to start selling sweatshirts and T-shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff. It's all good stuff. So we do. I told you last week I have a gift coming. It's almost done, and I got something that you can hang in your awesome little cabin there. So, yeah, they do. Oh, I see. They review. So if we were all. Oh yeah, right, Anna. Yeah, yeah, and no moderators awake to moderate them. But yeah, you know what? They wouldn't have. There would be no moderators in there, and there would be very few comments except for the trolls that were randomly popping in and out. Right, so there wouldn't be any comments on a live stream. So if they review that and they see that, yeah, yeah, this is true. Yeah, I've heard of a bunch of you guys say that. I'm just going to play your live stream and let it run. That's fantastic. That's a good idea. You know what? That's interesting. I think I might just do that. I just might leave this on tonight and do autoplay on all of your videos, Chris. Maybe that'll help you out. See what happens. That'd be really cool. Oh, you know what? The algorithm can't hear what I'm saying, right? It only reads the comments, right? So they can't hear what I'm saying on the live stream, right? So did I say that? Anyway, all right. Well, that is so cool. You guys are so awesome. Wow. Gosh, you guys are so unbelievable. I can't believe I've actually gone this long. This was, and of course my pretty little wife, she was not going to hang this long. But we started talking about hydro and power and fishing again, and oh my goodness, you guys are just too much. I just can't get over how awesome this is. So, guys, I need to get up early. And I'm going to preach to the choir on this, but you're all going to say, "Oh yeah, the world's smallest violin playing My Heart Pumps Peanut Butter for You." But I do. I got to run a crane tomorrow, and I got to make sure that I'm sharp and I get my rest. So, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and participating and listening to my wife. And Chris, if you missed the first part of that where I was interviewing my wife, I was asking her a bunch of questions and letting her just talk and letting all you guys have a chance to get to know her. So if you want to just hear a few things that she was saying, you go back and watch the first, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes of the live stream or whatever, if you have time. I know you're busy, but yeah. And Jeremy, I know it's the same time for you, and I'm sure you're going to be getting up, and I'm keeping you, Jeremy, and Chris in my prayers, praying, Chris, for your situation with your HOA out there, and praying for your situation as well, Jeremy. And again, I'll leave that with everybody. If anybody ever wants to reach out and ask for prayer, I am a praying man and have a list. I pray consistently every day for people, and I know that prayer works. So if yeah, thank you for coming in. High Country Fly Life, Soggy Bottom, fantastic. Thank you for coming in, guys. So I'm gonna close this out, and thank you so much for coming in. I can say that about 50 million times because I'm just humbled and grateful for you guys coming in. So I'm going to be doing these every Sunday night, 7 p.m. I think. Every Sunday night, I think we'll do a live stream, get together, and start chatting and talking about what's happening through the week. And Anna from thank you, Fairy Tale, for coming in. Anna from Mimsy's Garden, thank you for coming in and your help. That was fantastic. I would love to have you every time. And if 1 hour later, 7 p.m. works better for you guys, I will do it 1 hour later. You guys can just message me and let me know. So thank you guys. Yeah, thank you everybody for that. So thank you guys. Have a good night. God bless all of you, and I'll be talking to you on your live streams this week, those of you that have them, and I'll be making comments and watching more and seeing you. I'll be looking for you guys. Be looking for you, Anna, on Two Family, as well as Chris and Brow Surge and all those guys, and then hopefully see you guys all again next Sunday. All right, guys. Have a good night.